to the Big Ass Cornhole Show with Sean and Dane, the hosts you know. Talking cornhole life and random fun. Grab a beer, let's get it done. From tossing bags to let's wild ride. Tune in and join the party, don't you hide. It's the Big Ass Cornhole Podcast time with Sean and Dane. It's always prime. With Sean is done.
And this episode is brought to you by Draggin Bags.
Wow.
Yeah, greatest bag makers in the world.
Often imitated.
Often. Never duplicated.
Meow, meow.
All right. And yeah, I mean, the designs are hot. All right. So much so that you can see them across the landscape of cornhole.
People got their claws all over them.
Exactly. Just digging their claws in. So head over to Draggin Bags.
Claws or paws,
and
not really
dig
sure.
your claws into some today. All right.
The better
It's just-
version.
Yeah, 100%. Again, world's greatest cornhole bag, newest bag on the market for them.
They won bags that won.
Yes,
right.
So the Dragon most recent signature
Proven
champion
winners.
bags.
Okay.
From Draggin Bags. So yeah, if you want to be part of the champions, head over to Draggin Bags. Get yourself a set
It's
today.
weird how the claws come out after they win.
Exactly. Weird.
Awesome.
Strange.
Hell yeah. All right, well, welcome back to yet another episode of the Big Ass Cornhole Podcast. Sean and Dane are with you as always. What's going on, man?
What's the haps, Shenane?
Nothing. Did you get what I sent over?
Is this it?
No. What the fuck? Is
I have no idea.
All right. It's this. Let me send it over again.
I don't know what any of these photos are.
Yeah. There it is.
Hey,
All right, there you got it.
Got it.
All right. Anyways, how are you?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Good. You were we were just together again.
We were just over at your house hanging with the chitlins, playing some playground gaming station, which was a lot of fun. Technology is definitely way better than Xbox Connect ever was.
Yes. So we have these are like some of my favorite episodes are the signature preview episodes.
Yes.
We have another one this week. Before we get into anything else though, Dane, let the folks know what we're sipping on tonight in our favorite segment called What You Drinking.
What you drinking? Well, I am being
H2O.
Yeah, being a little lame tonight, just sipping on some H2O.
Guys.
Yeah, getting older, and honestly, it's Monday, and I know I have to go into work tomorrow, so I just don't feel like having a beer.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
C'est la vie.
It will be
Such is
nice.
life.
It will be nice not having to wake up and shovel tomorrow.
Hopefully.
We're not supposed to get any
We're
snow.
not supposed to.
Okay,
We weren't
not.
supposed to get any snow overnight last night
Yeah.
either, so baloney.
All right.
And here we are.
Well, we have more audio gold planned for you all this week. Again, we're gonna kind of preview the brackets for singles and doubles as we gear up for signature number 2, which is being held in Memphis, Tennessee. We are gonna go over some recent ACL news. We were joined by the owner of the Chicagoland Spinners, Kyle Singles.
Indeed.
It was an awesome interview. We knew nothing about him going into the interview. Again, it just gets me more excited for teams to kick off here. And,
Another good owner, man.
you know,
Another good
like
conversation.
a month or so. So
Yeah.
really good conversation. And then we got some dramatic readings.
Hell yeah. 'Cause
Bringing
why
it right
not?
back. Bringing it right back. But before we get into anything else, we're going to let you know what's going on in our lives. In a segment we call In and Around the Hole.
Are you too good for your home? Answer me!
Okay. Man, I'm
Sure.
old.
You are.
And I'm getting old. And I'm like, I fully admit, like I'm a little sore from all the shoveling I've had to do.
I thought you were gonna say from the playground.
No,
Oh,
not
yeah.
that. Like from all the shoveling I do. I had to shovel, I think 3 times yesterday, and then I had to wake up this morning and shovel.
Yeah.
You're like, I don't drive like I drive an SUV, like a sedan.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't. I
You
need,
gotta
it's
shovel
just,
it
yeah.
out.
You know what I mean? It's like
Gotta
not
bury
for-
it. Yeah.
So, but yeah, we got a decent amount of snow. I think
did.
total the whole day, probably close to a foot.
Yeah, if not a little more. I mean, it's been
Yeah.
a minute since I've had mountains that high next to my driveway.
It's crazy. It gave me a little flashbacks to sometimes like when we were younger.
Oh yeah.
It's been a long time since we've had like this much snow,
Yeah.
but It's been fine. Now it's just supposed to be cold as shit.
Yeah, which
For, like,
just
the next
sucks
week.
for the snow because as it packs down.
Yeah.
Shit just turns into ice real quick. And
Yep.
we're just going to look for some slick roads here the next couple weeks.
Well, and it's just going to be those lumps of snow are just going to be there forever.
Yep.
Like, I don't know where I'm going to put my trash cans.
Yeah. I mean, I love all like once again, we have this like huge snowstorm go across the country, and I see all these videos hit my algorithm of people packing it and then holding a lighter to it and be like, why isn't it melting? This ain't real snow. People, for the love of God, it's dispersion of heat. All right. Just look it up. You'll figure it out. It's just, it baffles me. I've seen 40 fucking videos of this thing.
I realize this bothered you.
It's just annoying. Like, it's not for every time that Tennessee or Texas gets snow, it's the same people that are like, look, it doesn't melt. Like, yeah, if you pack it in together, like hold a flame up to an ice cube, it doesn't melt immediately. Like, it's basically what you're doing. So yeah, it's just
Public service announcement.
yeah.
Thanks,
I need
Dan.
to throw that out there.
Wow.
It's just been overwhelming the algorithm recently. And it's like, I understand it snowed. All right, we're good.
Well, guess
Don't
what? You're
remind
about to
me
get
of it.
another 1,000 videos. Just
Oh,
like,
I know. It's gonna keep just flooding it. Yeah.
This weekend, I didn't really do much. I mean, we were kind of snowed in for the most part.
Yeah.
Just kind of hung out with family, did a bunch of, games with the kids and tried to keep them from fighting every 2 fucking seconds. And they're just at the age where it's so annoying. Like, they just can't get along for like 2 minutes. But yeah, it was fine. It was a fun weekend. I know we had the simulator Thursday. I don't even know how to like characterize how we played. Cause I mean,
I didn't feel like we played bad. It was just a couple holes like we dug ourselves in, but we were able to manage to scrape out a bogey on each one.
yeah, man, it's just, again, we're just too inconsistent off the fucking tee. Now, it was my fault because I found it in the driving range. Again, I'm a driving range warrior.
Yeah.
Thought I found it, thought I had the good feels down. So I told you, go with your new swing. Like, I just try, and you were striping on the range too. So I'm like, you know what? We know even if you fuck up a few times, it's just part of the learning curve. But like, I feel confident enough that I'll be able to make good, solid contact, put us out there. And just these same old mistakes come out. And I just need to like, just get level. And then again, just it wasn't like my best iron. It wasn't, I don't think either one of us like our best iron day.
I mean, a lot of them were out of shit.
Yeah.
That we were hitting from. But yeah, I mean, we did struggle like plopping it on the green in 2.
But we grinded under par and we ended up, I think we tied our match, which is like
Which
the first.
baffled me because they had like a 3-stroke lead on us,
Yeah.
going last like 2 holes or
It
something.
was more of a
but-
pride thing because we thought we were out of it. Because when I think we battled back to even, and then we looked and I think they were 3 under.
Yeah.
And then we grinded to 2, and then I went back and looked. And I'm like, oh shit, we're tied. And then I thought they were gonna choke, but
They didn't.
they didn't. But yeah, it's fun. Looking forward to going again. I'm getting so excited for Vegas.
Exactly. Like I'm just using this as like little practice. Make sure the ball striking's good.
Yeah.
Just go out there and have a
having
good
fun.
time.
Yeah, it sounds like so. The one day we're playing with Dan and Ethan Walker,
Hell yeah.
and then the other day I think Wally Castler's going to come
Dude,
join us. Fuck
Hell
yeah.
yes.
Canine cornhole.
Come on, Wally.
Hell yeah, he's a new Vegas resident from what I understand.
Good for him, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, other new stuff. I mean, the games this weekend, boring.
Yeah, I mean, I wish that snowstorm
Now I
didn't-
should say the Patriots game was boring, but the Seahawks game that was a pretty good game.
Yeah, it was a good game. Yeah, like I just really wish the winter weather kind of held up.
Yeah.
For that Denver game because it just became
Agreed.
a snooze fest as soon as it started coming down. They couldn't do anything.
Agreed.
Yeah, I mean, hats off to the Patriots. You did just enough again to squeak out in the AFC, and now I think they're gonna be facing a team that's gonna give them fits
Oh yeah.
in the Super Bowl.
Oh yeah.
Sam
Darnold's looking like the real deal.
I mean, from the start, they were kind of who I was thinking on paper should make it because they had the defense, the offense was performing and clicking. Yeah, it's coming to fruition for them. So I'm kind of in it for the Seahawks in the Super Bowl. But we have plans for the Super Bowl. We have the simulator booked.
We do.
Thanks to our championship winning. So now we just need to fill that bitch and have a good time and watch the Super Bowl. I'm super excited about that.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I guess so. Before we get into like all the preview stuff,
Yeah.
some recent ACL news that came late last week. I think it dropped on Friday. Trey Ryder announced that he is going to be transitioning to a new role, in quotes, at the ACL. He's going to be the head of the league's advisory committee as he takes over a new professional role. If you read between the lines and the way people were congratulating Trey, and then also in a way of like saying goodbye. Basically, in the professional world, like taking on an advising role, like that means like he's no longer going to be in the picture.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Like he'll be there.
He's not a part of the day by day.
Yeah, I mean, he's still.
But he'll be.
I'm assuming he's staying in the Rock Hill area, and if he is, like, I think he's still a cornhole fan. He's still going to be involved.
Yeah, and he'll just have to make those 1 or 2 meetings a year to kind of see if the trajectory is going the right direction and give his insights on.
Yeah, so I'm interested to see.
Stuff.
I would imagine that he got a job offer that he just couldn't refuse. That was just a perfect situation for him. Trey's earned it, man. Like, and I think regardless of your opinions of the ACL and Trey and Stacy and all that stuff, like he's done a lot for the game. He's been very good to us. You know, we've driven him crazy, I think, a bunch over the years, but it's all definitely a mutual respect on both parties. I would love to have him on one more time.
Send off, that'd be great.
Reached out to him and he knows, so he's gonna just double check. I'm sure he had to sign some sort of like an NDA agreement of some sort, but yeah, we'll see. But yeah, so tip of the cap. Good luck if he doesn't come on the show. You know, he's sure he'll do very well.
Oh yeah, I mean it's
gonna be a big role. It's interesting to find out. Like it sounds like he's like gone. So like he's trying to make it a smooth transition. So they need to replace him on broadcast.
Big shoes to fill.
So I think there's really 2 candidates right now. I would think this season right away that you can bring in. I mean, I think the candidate number 1 would obviously be Anthony Ione. You give Anthony Ione whatever he needs to get him to do all this stuff.
I mean, we've always just loved Ione's approach to the game, and he makes it entertaining, and he's just so polished, like right off the rip.
And everyone likes him. You know, he was a former player, and he's got the science background, and like it's just, and he's very well spoken, and he's got already a chemistry with Jeff. You know what I mean? It kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
The other thing is, do you give a young dude a shot that has done very well so far, and Jake Brannon?
I mean, again, Jake's. Oh, excuse me. Apparently Jake's making me sneeze. But no, like I think Jake's very professional as well. He's getting better and better each time we hear him. My question is, it's like, is he ready for that big of a role right off the rip? So it's a lot of responsibility.
It is a lot.
Now, do I think he can handle it? 100%. I think ACL is in a decent spot to fill those shoes.
I think because he would be paired with a Jeff. Because Jeff is such a professional and is so good at what he does, I think they could probably make it work. I would be shocked though if they didn't do Anthony Ione. Now the only issue is maybe Anthony doesn't want to do it.
Yeah, I mean,
because his son's at an age where he's very involved with his son's basketball, and which is awesome. He's very involved in his kids' lives, and
the time commitments.
This was 5, 6, 7 years from now. I think Anthony Ione would probably jump all over this, but right now I don't know. And again, like he's never come out and said.
Yeah, it's pure speculation. On our part,
I would, if it was my first choice, I think it would be Anthony Ione to take the position.
Yeah, I mean, again, if it's Jake, I think they'll still be successful.
Yeah.
So they're in a good spot, in my opinion, on who's going to step in.
You just need somebody that knows the game and knows things about the players.
Yeah.
Those are the 2 things. Like, and then Jeff is going to kind of paint the picture, everything else. And can you explain some strategy and what the players might be thinking?
Yeah.
But really the product is it's on the players too. You know what I mean? Like it's easy to call fun and exciting games and fun and exciting shots.
Which, I mean, Signature 1 was just that.
Oh yeah.
So now tune in for Signature 2, man. I'm excited.
Yeah. It's a tough one to follow.
It is. It is.
It's a really tough one to follow, but these guys are all so good now,
dude.
That it seems inevitable that all these games are
glad I'm stopped playing when I did. Good Lord. There's no way.
So cheers, Trey.
Hell
Good luck to you in the future, and hopefully we get you on one more time.
Hell yeah.
All right, so let's start off with singles. All right, so let's start with the A bracket here. Obviously, coming off another win at Signature 1, Mark Richards, the number 1 overall seed. He sits at the 1 seed in the A bracket.
Yes, he do.
In this bracket, just in his own subsection, he doesn't have the easiest of like roads. Now, obviously, this is going to be completely different because there's so many qualifiers that are going to get plugged into this bracket. Mm-hmm. It's impossible to know right now. all we can do is base off the top 100, right?
Yeah.
But when it comes down to it, that's typically who matters anyways, right?
It really does. Yeah, the cream rises to the top in these things.
For the most part. So I'm trying to look for stacks and subsections of like who just has a tough road and, who has enough to go. Mark Richards, I don't ever worry about Mark having a bye. It just seems like he's just always ready to go. He's a gamer, right? He's the ultimate fucking gamer. He's ready to go. And once he starts rolling, there's no stopping him. In his subsection, though, he has Jimmy Humans and Steve Schroeder. I'm assuming they win their first round matchup. They're going to meet in that second round match. The winner of that's probably going to meet Mark Richards. Jimmy Humans, if he could get locked in, down the middle, or Steve Schroeder, same thing, a high PPR and just grind it out match. Could they do it? Yeah, absolutely. But
could be a surprise.
Mark Richards is just a very tough out. You got to kind of like Mark advancing there.
Oh, yeah.
Just down there, you have Ryan Wiedenfield sitting at the 9 seed. He finished 9th in his bracket. It wasn't a terrible performance. Just
wasn't as great as his doubles performance.
But this is a tough little section. All right, you got Ryan Wiedenfield, Ian Cripps, Justin Stranger, and Steady Eddie G.
It is kind of it's a weird one to try to pick a winner out of here, especially if Wiedenfeld's not at his sharpest.
I'm going to say, spoiler alert, I'm going to save Ian Cripps for doing well for when we talk about doubles.
Okay.
When it comes down to it, Ryan Wiedenfield versus Eddie Grindersleeve, the winner is going to face off against Mark Richards. I would like to see, and if you're like a Chicagoland Spinners like owner, you would love to see Ryan Wiedenfield come out and make a deep run in singles today.
Yes, because then you
have
one more avenue that your team can go.
Yeah, it would be very nice. Eddie Grindersleeve is just a really tough out.
Yeah.
And I think that is a very perfect test for Ryan Wiedenfield to tell us where his game is at right now.
Yes.
If he wins, he can take that momentum and take that very similar game against a Mark Richards. Because he has the kind of game that can test Mark. Because he has all the shots.
And he likes to muddy it. He's a tactician, too.
If he plays patient and he plays smart, which has always been his kind of downside, if he plays smart, like we can see a different match. But Eddie Grindersleeve is no slouch. We've been talking about him for 7 years on this show.
Yes.
He's really, really fucking good. He's just steady every fucking year.
Yeah. I mean, you don't get that nickname lightly. Of Steady Eddie.
We dropped down Logan Chamberlain sitting at the 4 seed. I mean, dare I say, kind of a disappointing first signature. I mean, and he took 4th in his bracket.
A bit, but he ended up in a great little subsection through here. I mean,
Hunter
Thorson in there.
Nobody you're afraid of. Logan Chamberlain should firmly win, move on, getting to through the subsection. Right below that, you have Braden Wilson and Jaden Ellis. Jaden Ellis, I'll admit, he played very well.
He did, yeah.
Played very well the first one, positioned himself nicely. I would love to see a matchup against Braden Wilson and Jaden Ellis. Braden Wilson is one of those guys that like the ACL would fucking love for this dude to just like burst onto the scene in singles.
For sure.
He's so good. He's so marketable. And I would love to see it happen. To me, it's a coin flip.
Yeah.
I think it's whoever's hot that day. Jaden Ellis was, from what I've heard, I didn't get to see any of his matches, but was that dude.
Yeah, he was
the first one locked
heard
in.
That he was lighting it up. But yeah, I mean, I'm there with you for Braden, but this is always that time of year that's like, how much time can he dedicate to his craft?
To me, if I'm making a prediction, it seems like it's probably gonna be chalk. It'll probably be like Mark Richards versus Logan Chamberlain going into the bracket.
Yeah, for like that
King seed match on that side of the bracket. On this other side, the top seed all the way at the top is Tony Smith, ironically. All right. In his own subsection, he's got Austin Waskow and Jeremiah Hector. Now, normally I would say, damn, like this is like stacked, but from what I'm hearing, Waskow's been struggling recently.
Yeah, which, is
if he catches it again, if he finds it again, this would be very, very tough. Tony Smith, it's kind of laughable that a lot of people thought like we're kind of writing him off. He had a weird hitch the last time. Even with the hitch, he still finished pretty fucking good.
Yeah.
So he's still pretty good.
He can just get it out of his head. I mean, it's more of a shot clock worry at this point because it's,
just to get to like an opportunity to get to King seat match, Tony Smith, you kind of have to like where he's sitting. I mean, you have Justin Rule sitting there, Bobby Hunt, who's just below that.
And then Colby Shearer. Yeah.
Now, I will say Colby Shearer has been playing very well, but like Tony Smith's not afraid of any of those guys.
Yeah. I mean, it's Tony Smith. The name holds some power to it. And I would expect him to run through it. But again, if Waskow finds it, I mean,
be a tough out.
He's a top 5 finisher last year. So you never know.
Going to scroll down just a little bit.
Certainly. I didn't know if you had any other closing points in there.
Cash Chamness sitting here at the 3 seeds, just a sneaky spot right here. The only other name that in a match is with Eric Davis.
Yeah.
The thing is, I don't know if Eric Davis has the patience to play a Cash Chamness.
I mean, to outlast Cash Chamness, I don't know if he does either.
You know, Cash has been on, and there have been times where he's been off, but when he's on, he's really tough out.
Yeah.
So those are the kind of matches I kind of worry about Eric Davis. Round limited, Eric Davis is awesome.
No, yeah.
All I got to do is lock in
score
for
6 on you in a round, and then you'll figure it out.
Just below that, we have Quinn Reeves, Leston Allen Jr., and we have Gage Landis. I think Gage Landis, again, just continues to get underappreciated in singles.
Yes.
He finished 6th in this bracket. I think that's probably, I think it would be argued that might even be his worst of the season.
Could be, yeah. I mean, and it also puts him in a spot that he gets a first round bye and moving into the next round here. So
Quinn Reeves is one of those names that I've been waiting to bust out, right?
For sure. Yeah,
we kind of expected to do a little bit more last year.
He was big on the college scene, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, like that's where we first
He was a
learned
rookie
about
last
him
year.
and-
Early on in the season, I was thinking that he could have been a dark horse for Rookie of the Year. Didn't quite pan out. Austin was actually the guy that ended up really bursting onto the scene. He's very talented. I would like to see him kind of put it all together. He also set himself up very nicely for a potential match deep in the bracket against Gage.
Yeah.
Like a win over Gage would then, to me, that's a signal of like, okay, your game is improving.
Mhm.
Like we're not just going to be like an 11 seed all season.
Exactly.
There's nothing wrong with that. But like, if you want to like take your game to the next level, like you have to beat the Gage Landises.
I mean, to me, like next
Gage
level,
went through that too.
Next level means you're top 30 in my mind right now.
And Gage went through this too. He was always right on the border. And then all of a sudden he finally became a singles dude too.
Yeah.
For a long time, Gage was like very solid doubles dude. And he was in singles. And he finally put his game together. And now he's a stud. So interesting in that little subsection to kind of see where it goes.
Oh, for sure. All right. So then next one,
In the B bracket.
B bracket. Go ahead and pull that up on your phone. I can get it up on here real quick.
So number 1 seed, Jacob Trzynski sits. Royball's in the same sub stack. And this is what happens when you don't get off to a great start, is that you are going to just have a battle early on right away. Not only will he potentially have to face Jacob Trzynski, but in his second round match, if he gets there, Gabe Dolan is not an easy out.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay,
I mean, that's a tough little
Gabe
start.
is a grinder. He's, he's not flashy in any ways, but like he's been a pro for a while. He's going to make you work for it. So we're going to find out very quickly which Chris Royball is here.
Mhm.
He can make noise. He can win the subsection. Jacob Trzynski, but if he shows up like how he did last time, again, he's going to do very well.
Mhm.
But he in singles has never shown that level of consistency.
Yeah, he's always been a little up and down. Like when he's hot, he's got it. But his game also, I feel like it's hard to translate in singles a little bit more because I think he's just a really good arm with the board thrower. The way that his cut action and roll bag goes.
Just below that, we have Ryan Trader. You have Noel Manza. 2 guys that I want to see their potential. Right? Like they both had a solid showing at the first signature.
Well, it's kind of both of them. Like, can we see the versions that we fell in love with originally?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Because Ryan Trader lit the world on fire, and Noel Manza was that next guy up for so long that, like, yeah, if we can get back to those days, I mean, this would be a good bracket to do.
The note that I wrote was still waiting on both to show their full potential again. One of them should make a deep run, right? So I think the winner of these two, if they take care of business, whoever wins that has a realistic chance to beat Jacob Trzynski or Chris Royball, whoever's there. Like they have the game to do it. And then if you win that match, like you're setting yourself up for, you can win the fucking thing.
For sure, yeah.
Like this is a very key match between those two. And I'll be very interested to see if it's a close match or if one guy just dominates and if they take that momentum and kind of roll.
Yeah.
Just below that, another guy that I think doesn't get enough respect anymore, Justin Burton Jr., just steady Eddie. Took 4th in his bracket last time, just does what he does. Nick Mescal, Landon Crabtree, both in this bracket, but you got to expect Justin Burton Jr. to kind of, he's just really good, man. And when he gets locked in, and I think there was some worry going into this year like he's a lot of personal changes in his life. You know, like how's he going to handle it? Seems
fine.
to
be for the better right now. So sometimes it happens that way.
As we finish off the left side of the bracket for the B bracket, we have Ryan Smith, Adrian Brunson, and then we have Gavin Cano. Now Ryan Smith, very solid, 12th place. Again, this is Gavin Cano.
Yeah,
took 5th in his bracket. I don't think him or Logan Chamberlain were super pleased with where they finished.
Yeah.
This needs to be a run for Gavin Cano.
No, I mean I want to see these like Burton Jr. versus Gavin Cano.
That's exactly what I wrote
Texas
down.
versus Texas.
I
Yeah,
want to see that
it.
match. I want to see like where we're at, and that's a match that again like that's. I don't want to call it bad blood, but you know what I mean. Like it's another really important
Sean,
match.
It's not. It's entertainment.
Ryan Trader, Noel Manza. If that matchup happens, Cano, JBJ. Mark those 2 matches down. If they happen, I'm interested just to kind of follow that along the season because that's going to dictate again seeding for the next one.
For sure,
You need to win those matchups now to try to get yourself a better seed. Jordan Power, perfect example of why you want to play really well. Took second in his bracket last time in singles, powered his way through, and he doesn't have a whole lot there. Now, Bo Graff played very well first. He ended up with the 15th seed in this one. But again, like no one in this section is scaring Jordan Power. The only thing he's got to worry about is he's going to be playing the winner of 2 qualifiers playing against each other who are just coming off playing.
Yeah, so
you're going to be playing
hold your
somebody that's
own.
a little warm.
Yeah.
So like Jordan Power needs to go in there ready to play right away. I think he can do it, obviously. He set himself up very nicely. Reward yourself for doing that and just follow it up with some clutch wins. And you're going to be deep in the bracket again with only having to win 3 times.
Hell yeah.
Right below that, we have Lucas Piper, Jeremiah Stewart, and Adam Hissner. I fully expect Adam Hissner to handle business. Jeremiah Stewart has potential, but he just did not have a very good
first showing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lucas Piper, again, kind of a surprise guy a little bit out of the first one, but Adam Hissner's been there, done that. He's setting himself up for a matchup against Jordan Power, Team Titan, going against each other.
At end of 2026 right now, is Adam Hissner finish inside the top 25
In singles? Are you asking me now or after this tournament?
Let's say right now, today. Do you think he's got the stamina in singles to be able to? I fully believe
No.
he'll be there in doubles, no problem.
No, I think I
he'll
think
be top
7
10
seed.
doubles.
I think 7's perfect. I think he's like top 30.
Top 30. Okay,
I think he's like just outside of top 25.
fair enough.
This is where it gets interesting in this side, right?
It really does.
You have Colin Hodet, Clayton Kennedy, Mike Hoffman. Now, shout out to Mike Hoffman. He had a really tough draw last time, but he grinded his way through, and he finished with a 14 seed. Yeah,
Hell
so shout
yeah.
out to you. Colin Hodet, 3rd in his bracket last time, backing up how much support he was getting at the end of last year with a very solid performance in signature number 1. Right below that, you have Rosie Streaker, Anthony Eastridge. Again, very nice people, not exactly striking fear into anyone, but then sitting there as Spencer Fabianar. It's just setting up for a brotherhood matchup.
For sure.
We all want
I
to
love
see
it.
this matchup.
Yeah.
So, boys, just handle your business. We want Hodet versus Fabianar. Do not rob us of that. We want that on a live stream.
I mean, the only one I will accept is Hoffman. All right, if he sneaks out and
Who do you
catches fire
like
against Hodet,
in that? Do you like, because to me, it's almost like big brother, little brother situation in that.
yeah,
Do you like the big brother? Or do you like the little brother in that situation?
of Fabian or Hodet, give me Hodet.
Okay. Interesting. Okay.
If this is, for some reason, I just feel like he'd get his number
Okay. Interesting.
because he'd be even more comfortable throwing against
That's what I
his
mean.
buddy.
That's,
And when that dude's comfortable, I mean, my God, his rollback is.
and
just-
that's what
it's
I wonder.
unbeatable.
Would Fabianar go in with more pressure because would he go in
With the
expecting
expectation
of him winning? You know what I mean? Like, if he falls behind, would you start to press and
But
stuff
Hodet
like that?
finished higher in singles last year than Fabianar.
I know. Well,
So,
I know.
like,
I'm
to
just
me,
saying.
it's, all's fair.
But this is a very entertaining bracket.
It really
up and
is,
down.
man.
Just
Yeah, this is a
again,
fun
just like
one.
key matchups throughout this thing that I'm very
I
excited
mean,
to
even
kind of see the
I want to
results
see
of.
Power Hissner. Like, that'd be an awesome matchup as well.
For sure. Once you pull up C bracket,
C bracket.
Sammy
which will be
Soto.
Soto.
So Sammy Soto will be the number 1 seed. As Dane's pulling this up now.
All right.
So Sammy Soto sits. So we have Zach Atkins and Cody Henderson sitting in the same subsection. Again, Cody Henderson has just not really shown us a whole lot, and I'm a firm believer Sammy Soto is a top 5 player in the world right now.
Yeah.
I think Sammy will handle the business and get through this subsection. Right below that, you have Caleb Chambers and Tommy Sliker. You got
a nasty
Matt,
little section in here, though.
Yeah, you got Matt Wilson and Deborah Odom sitting right there. Now, again, Matt Wilson versus Tommy Sliker, that is a matchup you hate to see because I really like both those guys.
Yeah. So early on,
unfortunately,
too.
Matt wasn't feeling the greatest, it sounds like, not making excuses, and he didn't make excuses either.
Yeah.
Just didn't have the best showing, signature one, so he dug himself a little bit of a hole. You either gotta beat Tommy Sliker or you're gonna have to go on and run in the losers bracket and really just try to grind your way out. And he's got the game to do it.
Oh, for sure.
And I think that he wants to show up, but Tommy is a guy on the rise. And those are one of those, when you face off against a Matt Wilson, like if you want to take a step to the next level, those are the matches you got to win.
Yeah, exactly.
Like those are the matchups you can't
I kind of see it in both lights. I mean, if Matt Wilson overtakes
100%.
him, then we'll be like, all right, well, he had his flu weekend. Now he's back to normal.
And I know it's early on in the bracket, but like those matchups to me, those matter. Like going back when you look at like, all right, who won this? Was it dominant? Was it pretty close? Like, I think that's like, it's a telltale sign of like, okay, when we're coming up with rankings and stuff like that, where's the pecking order
Well,
now?
even the end of season finishes. I mean, we're talking 10 points separating like 20 different spots sometimes. It's
Correct.
insane.
Just scroll down. Derek Holland sitting at the 4 seed. We have Ty Thompson with a 20 seed. A very disappointing first one. Sarah Cassidy with 13 seed. Again, Derek Holland is just so steady. We've seen Ty Thompson, what he can do. All right, we've said it before, how talented he is. Won a national or won a signature, whatever the fuck it was called last year. We know how good he can be. He's just very inconsistent. And
I like the run in front of him, though, like having to take on a Sarah Cassidy, who we know is very steady.
Well, he's got to beat a qualifier first.
Beats the qualifier, yeah. And then if you go up, face Sarah, and handle business, like that's a good road to leading up to Derek Holland.
What I want to do
like
is I want to go through all this. I haven't decided if I want to like just take a quick snapshot, but I want to see in round one what are the records of the top 100 against the qualifiers.
True, yeah.
And then
like, is
I
the
also
hot
want
hand winning more.
Yeah, and I
often
want to
than
go and I want to see what was the record of the buys. The people who had buys, what was their record in that game coming through? Because they should be the higher seed, but just sitting matter. I think for the best of the best, it has not mattered at all.
Yeah.
But I think for some of the mid-tier people coming in, they're not used to that.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, it's hard to be game ready when people are coming in already having played several games.
That last little subsection, we have Kyle Petering, Kobe Costanza, and we have Jacob Harrison. We mentioned Harrison before. He's kind of just been a guy that's been playing very well recently. It's hard to bet against him right now. Kyle Petering, though, finishing with a 12th seed. Shout out to you, sir.
Hell yeah, man.
Very similar to
Hats
Gabe
off.
Dolan. He's just a grinder, man. He's just going to make you work and he's going to earn it. But Jacob Harrison, I think you got to give him the nod right now. I really like the winner of like Ty Thompson, Derek Holland.
Yes.
I'm taking this like bottom section down though.
I like that prediction. I'm there with you, actually.
Oh, thanks.
Oh, there we go.
All right, sitting at the 2 seed, we have Ethan Walker. And you know, this is where it sucks. Devin Harbaugh did not have the best showing in singles last time. Sitting at the 15 seed, and he finds himself in the same subsection as Ethan Walker. Now that just fucking sucks.
That sucks.
Now again, if you're gonna win a signature, you're gonna have to beat really good people. I get that, but
you just
like
hope that it's with more than 2 games
like,
under your belt.
because one of them is going to go to the losers bracket pretty early, and both of them have the game to claw through, but one of them's going to just have a much easier day. I think you got to give the nod to Ethan Walker right now.
I would agree. Yeah.
I mean, Ethan's just playing very, very well, and I mean, he looked unbeatable up until the very end last time.
Mm-hmm.
He looked unbeatable. I mean, I think he went on the longest consecutive scoring streak in ACL history without giving up a point. I think he won 4 straight matches.
Yeah. It's unreal at that level.
Out.
Yeah. At that level, it's unbelievable.
So I think you got to give the nod, but no one would be surprised if Harbaugh also made a run.
Yes. He's got that. Yeah. Definitely.
Just below that, we have Zeb Smith, who had a very nice first sig. From what I heard, a lot of people were mentioning his name, didn't realize like how far his game has come. He had very solid. Gio Mora, and then you have Richard Nyberg. Now, Nyberg's again, same thing as like Tommy Sliker. These are these are guys that if you want us to take you seriously and you want to take the next level of being like a regular name on, like, when it comes to certain expectations, this is a subsection that he should win.
Yes. I agree.
He should take this down. He should be he should be playing either Devin Harbaugh or Ethan Walker to go on to the semi bracket of the final of the.
I agree 100%. Yeah. Because
So,
I mean, there's not that scary of names in there.
No.
And like you said, if
and
you're
again,
taking that
same
next
thing
leap,
with Zeb Smith. Like, if you want to take that next leap, you got to win the subsection. It's winnable.
yeah.
Next section down, we have Trey Birchfield sitting at the 3 seed, who very quietly had a very solid first signature.
For sure.
Just didn't do anything flashy, just doing Trey Birchfield kind of stuff. Just going back to robot ways. You have Jeremy Shermerhorn and PJ Knott. Again, Birchfield's just solid.
Yeah.
Shermerhorn's a doubles dude. But he'll grind when he has to. But Shermerhorn always just tends to just have himself a singles performance just good enough to kind of squeak in. But I just don't think his game matches up well against
He's going to
Birchfield.
save that for Cleveland with us.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's going to save it for
pain our
us.
chest.
100%. I would. It's
Right below that, you have
written in
Tony
stone.
Forbes sitting at an 11 seed, surprisingly.
Yeah, it's definitely high up for him, but
A little bit, yeah.
sucks for everybody else in the subsection.
Riker Wells also sitting down at the bottom, and you got Miranda Coy. So you have a Miranda Coy, Tony Forbes matchup. That would be a fun one to watch.
For sure.
Riker Wells, though, we've seen how good he was last year. You would think that this is setting up for a potential big matchup between Forbes and Wells. Same conversation we're having with Sliker and Nyberg. Like, I want to see it. Like, we all know how good Tony Forbes is. We've seen how good Riker Wells has been.
Yeah.
Like, let's see it. Like, who's ready to take the next step? Because either one of those guys could win. Like, the whole side of the bracket.
They could, but you still forget they'd have to take down Ethan Walker,
Correct.
who has. I mean, he's up at that level. So that to me is the stepping stone in itself. Like,
Correct. But they both had the games where, again, if they made the bracket final, like, I'm not shocked at either one of those
No,
guys.
100%.
All right, and then we got the D bracket. That'd be Ryan
With
Windsor.
Senior Windsor.
Senior Windsor. So Windsor sits as the number 1 seed. He has a solid draw. Does sitting and getting a bye affect him?
I think he's been a pro long enough that he knows how to get up for a game at any time.
Okay. Colin Powers has looked solid, but can he translate it in singles? Like, he looks really good in doubles. Can we see, can he take that game in doubles, and can he just get it to work a little bit better in singles? He would be a tough matchup for Ryan Windsor.
For sure.
He's got a nasty fucking airmail. He's not afraid to go over anything. So I think it would be a really tough match. Lucas Householder is having a better start to the season, a bit rocky in his rookie year, but a solid 9th in his bracket. Same subsection as AJ Sims. AJ is one of those guys that he typically makes a run every year in singles. And this top section looks pretty manageable, if I'm being honest with you.
Could be primed for him. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, just a random AJ Sims, like, deep bracket run, like maybe even like a bracket finals kind of match.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It
sure.
just got that weird.
It does.
And again, if Ryan Windsor comes out and firmly establishes and makes a deep run again, I'm all in that Ryan Windsor's back.
Yeah.
Fuck
And
yeah.
I want to see it.
I hope it.
Yeah.
Again, I just different things. Like, just seeing how everything's unfolding, I could definitely see a path for AJ Sims to kind of sneak in pretty deep in this bracket.
For sure.
Right below that, you have Matt Guy, who I can tell you have talked to just within the last week, and is feeling physically better than he said, in the last 20 years.
Yeah.
He's going to be joining the show next week. Would love him to go ahead and win this one.
That'd be great.
That would be just fucking
Yeah.
great timing. It's weirder shit has happened, right? We just
Very true.
weirder shit. And I even told him that on the phone. I'm like, we're booking this. Let's do it the week after.
But we're also like, he's another one. Like, we keep bringing up all these names. Like, I want to see him back too.
Yeah.
Like, we've been waiting for it. We know he's got the game. Like, hopefully now he's claiming that he feels amazing. Let's see it. I want to see it. But he did come in as a 4 seed, so it's not like he had a shitty first signature either.
I think Matt Guy still has like that aura, though. You know what I mean? Like, and he's going against a qualifier, so I think he does still have like that little bit of an advantage
100%. Yeah.
when it comes to that. I think this is lining up for a deep Matt Guy run, though. Mason Trader sitting at the 5th and Owen Crick at 12th. Both had solid showings. Mason just keeps kind of getting better.
Yeah.
I think he's fully healthy. he could go on a good run. He's not quite as flashy as what his brother was. Like he didn't have like this big step, like all this crazy stuff, but like he's just a solid poised player.
Yeah. Can he strap in for a 60-round match against Matt Guy?
Correct. Sitting at the number 2 seed, we had Jamie Guy. Does not have
Jamie Graham.
I'm sorry, Jesus Christ, Jamie Graham. Sorry. We have Brett Guy and Jeff Reynolds in the same subsection. Graham should handle it, but it's not like the easiest of roads.
This is like 2019. Like
I know it's crazy, right?
It's nuts.
But that's what I'm saying. Like those, like Brett Guy, like he's played Jamie Graham 100 times.
Exactly. That's just funny
like,
that they're all in the same section together. These guys have been playing each other for the last decade.
Correct. You have Chad Hunt, Dave Morse, and Sebastian Schaefer Ford. All 3 talented guys who just haven't made it over the top yet. Who is going to come out of this subsection and play Jamie Graham is what I want to see.
Yeah, that's
in
tough,
singles.
man.
I'm going to give the nod to Sebastian Schaefer Ford.
Yeah.
His game is just quirky enough. I think it works, but Chad Hunt's kind of a dog.
He really
You know what I
is,
mean?
dude. Yeah.
Like he's just always
He's another one that's
always in the fucking main. He does not get any
he's a
respect.
grinder and a half.
At all, man. But the dude is always near the end of it in a loser's bracket thing. Like he's always in the mix, man. Finishing 10th in his bracket. I'm a big Chad Hunt fan. Like I think he's got a very unique game. Reminds me a lot of Shibby.
For sure.
Right? Throws a really hard tilt bag. Yeah, I think this would be a very interesting. And Dave Morris could just come out,
surprise everyone, and just be Dave Morse and lock in. You never know. It'll be a fun one to watch.
This is an important subsection for these 3 guys because going on, like one of these guys is probably going to get out earlier than they wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
But one of them is going to make a deep run and set themselves up nicely going forward. So
very astute.
For sure. Kingsbury's just solid. He plays smart. He's the 3 seed. He just doesn't give up big rounds. Nico could get hot, but we just haven't seen it recently. You know what I mean? Like he's
Sorry
one
about
of those,
Nico Morales for those of you at home.
Yeah, it's just I want to see it because he's got a fun game. He's heavy airmail guy. But Chris Kingsbury to me is just every year just kind of gets a little bit better. And
like heavy airmail guys, like it's hard to start off like just raining down airmails. I feel like airmail guys, once they get hot, that's when they just don't miss them.
Yeah.
So like it's hard. I mean, now we say that, but Nico's also going to have 2 matches before he might potentially face Chris, which might be enough to heat him up.
Correct. Alex Rawls finished 6th in his bracket. He's sitting in the 6th seed. At one point in the last signature, I thought he might win it all.
Yeah.
I think it just comes down to Rawls versus Graham at the end of the day. I really do. I think Alex Rawls very much looked like his game was kind of back. I don't really see anyone else lining up in this side, like especially the bottom half.
Yeah.
That's going to match his game. I think he's just going to eat these guys alive. And then we're going to see a Graham versus Rawls match.
Which, I mean, I would love to see it too.
Yeah.
With Rawls, like, you almost wonder, like, is the stamina quite back yet?
I think
coming
so.
off of that.
He just had a
that
tough
injury,
road. Like he had some tough matchups last time. But again, like just seeing the subsection, no one scares you. Like Tanner Halpert, very good player, but like he doesn't
these
scare you
early
anymore.
matches. No, I think he handles it. But like as you get deeper into the bracket, you get into games like 4 and 5 and stuff. Like that's when sometimes fatigue can take a toll.
But again, I always ask, like, if Alex Rawls was in the finals of the bracket, are you surprised?
No.
Yeah, exactly.
Never.
And it's like to me, like that's the check. And all right, so if we go over for doubles in the A bracket, we're gonna have oh my god, I'm blanking out. We're gonna have our dudes Wiedenfeld and Roybal.
Let me look at
sitting at top of the bracket. Daisy's pulling it up right fast.
There we go.
Player app.
Yeah.
In their same subsection, they have Bobby Hunt, Chad Hunt, Ryan Trader, and Mason Trader. Not the easiest of roads.
It is
man.
not.
Jesus
but we
Christ.
always say this with doubles because doubles teams are just even scarier on paper.
It really is. Now, in doubles, I don't worry as much about the qualifiers just because like they have to kind of mix and match and based on who qualifies.
Exactly.
And,
you don't quite have that
yeah,
chemistry.
it doesn't have the
down
chemistry,
all the time.
so I don't really worry about this. Like when it comes down to it, if Wiedenfeld and Roybal just throw how they did and they had the chemistry established, they're going to have some confidence. They can have a little swag now when they're playing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Have some fun. Like they, you know what I mean? They have a little money to play with now.
True.
Just, I kind of like them playing loose, but don't count out Bobby Hunt and Chad Hunt Mason Trader, Ryan Trader. Like these, again, if Ryan Trader gets hot in singles and it carries over in doubles, watch out.
Yeah.
Mason Trader, same
Mason
thing,
Trader's
so-
already, I mean, he's established right now. Ryan Trader's just trying to get back to that.
Exactly.
Point,
So it's not the easiest road for the champs. You know, I've seen easier subsections. Right below that, we have Gage Landis and Colin Hodet. AJ Sims and Devin Harbaugh would be their opening match.
Yep.
Potentially. That is talk
That
about
sucks.
shitty luck right there.
Yes, it does.
But again, you're going again. Gage Landis, Colin Hodet had a full signature together.
Yeah.
Developing some sort of chemistry, getting a feel for how they're doing it.
This is
Sims
the
and
debut
Harbaugh,
of Sims
yeah.
Harbaugh. So
I mean, they're going to have one warm-up match and then they're going to go right into it.
True.
So you got to give the edge to Landis and Hodet here, though.
I think right now, yeah, just on paper, I mean, they're also just it's a hard team to just face because
It
you know
is.
you're going to see every shot in the bag.
You have Eric Davis and Austin Waskow, and then Landon Crabtree and Caitlin Allshouse. Davis and Waskow they're an interesting team. I don't know. They're fifth in their bracket last time. I just don't know where they're at. I think Austin needs to stop struggling as much before you're really going to buy into that team. But I think you give the nod to the winner of AJ Sims, Harbaugh, Landis, and Hodet
I agree.
to win this little subsection.
Yeah, I agree too.
I'm seeing this side of all these teams. I would love to see like a Landis, Hodet, and then King, and then Roybal and Wiedenfield. I would love to see that. I think that after winning the first one, you got to give the nod and give the advantage to Wiedenfield and Roybal.
Of course,
Like
Yeah,
it's a
you
very
gotta-
winnable.
you gotta give
It's a
them nod
winnable.
right
It's a
now.
winnable
Yeah.
side of that bracket.
Well, they also have they have tests early, so like once you get past those, I feel like the ball's rolling. You get back in that groove that you had the last time.
Correct. Now the sitting at the 2 seed on the other side of the bracket, Logan Chamberlain, Gavin Cano. I mean, you fully expect them to go on. Like, there's no disrespect to Hoffman and Leston and Allen Jr. Love you, Mike. We know
Yeah.
this, but Chamberlain and Cano to me I would still expect them to be a top 4 team at the end of the year at worst.
I mean, I would be shocked if they don't have a title or two when this is all
That's
said
what I'm
and done.
saying. So like, this
it's-
sets up
it's
very
time-
well
yeah.
for them
It
right now
really does.
to go handle business, to get through their subsection with 2-3 games under their belt, and then they're gonna have some challenges. You have Power and Kingsbury. Again, they both were throwing very well independently. Came together, vibed. Third in the bracket. Exactly what we thought. Just put 2 good guys throwing a very kind of similar game.
Yeah, and they're just on
Grindersleeve-
paper that team like finishing
this
third.
subsection
like,
sucks.
dude. It does, man. Like that. Like this. It really.
They're
does
going to
suck
eat
that
each
they
other
have
alive.
these
So you
people,
have Power and Kingsbury. In the same subsection, you have Grindersleeve and Braden Wilson, and you have Ryan Smith and Jaden Ellis. I mean, this is
some name power in there.
Yeah, man, this is going to be a tough one. I mean, somebody's going to come out of this for the better, and you just have to really like Chamberlain and Cano getting those 2 like easier subsection, and then feeling
bursting
pretty good
through
about
right at the
themselves.
end, yeah, for sure. Man, yeah, that's just that bottom subsection sucks, but so does that one up in the middle with Hodet.
Very true. All right, so we got B bracket here. We have Walker and Morse sitting at the number 1 seed. Oh, I'm sorry, that's the D bracket. Let me pull up the B bracket. Forbes and Fabular. I'm sorry. Forbes and Fabular sitting at the 1 seed. You gotta love their draw when it comes down to it. Now with qualifiers, there are unknown, but in terms of the top 100, you gotta like where they're sitting, right? Like, of all the number 1 seeds so far.
Yeah. I mean,
you
you
like
have
where they're sitting.
Coy and Chambers, new team together. Still, I mean, 8th seed, but yeah, I mean, your Forbes and Fabianar, they're pretty electric, and then you have Modlin, Schroeder. I mean, yeah, I think they can handle their own through there.
You have Sebastian Schaefer Ford and PJ Knott. You have also in the same subsection Derek Holland and Alex Rawls. Again, Holland and Rawls have just been a staple top 10 team. You kind of have to give them the nod.
Hard to get past them, dude.
Now, again, no shot at all. Like Schaefer Ford and PJ Knott had a great first run. I just think that I just don't see that continuing over a team like this.
They got to be on their game.
Yeah.
Like you
It's
got
going to be a
on,
good test. If you want to make us believers, win a game like that, and then I'm more of a believer.
Yeah, 100%. But then, like, who'd you take? Let's say Holland Rawls overtake it, who do you like between Fabianar, Forbes, and Holland Rawls, knowing that Holland Rawls had to beat Ford and not already?
I think Fabianar and Forbes have something special. And I think that I think they're going to probably make it back to the bracket finals.
Okay.
Yeah, I really do.
Yeah, I like their chemistry together too. So,
on the other side of the bracket, sitting at the number 2, I don't think a lot of people realize this. Colin Powers and Richard Nyberg had themselves a day.
yes, they did.
They're sitting at the 2 seed. In their same subsection, you gotta love their start a little bit. You got Jeff Reynolds and Lucas Householder, and then Elizabeth Tennyson and Quinn Reeves. Again, Colin Powers and Richard Nyberg, if you want to take that step and become those dudes and become that team,
the time to do it
you
here.
got a nice opportunity here to make yourselves establish yourself again deep and set yourselves up nicely for the rest of the season, pretty much.
For sure. Yeah. No, I like the look of that.
You got Ryan Windsor, Cameron Belvin, Colby Costanza, Tommy Sliker, and Adrian Brunson, Gia Mora. Now, if Ryan Windsor and Cameron Belvin want us to be believers in this team, right? And it wasn't a fluke.
Clear house here because
you
have some names in here that
though. I think this is poised for Costanza and Sliker, kind of coming out. They were 6th last time. I think that they can very easily win the subsection and, kind of challenge whoever's winning at the top. You know what I mean?
Same goes for Brunson and Mora. This is the chance for them to show that their draft picks were worthy.
This just very much to me feels like we are going to get Costanza Sliker versus Nyberg and Powers on one side. All right, the winner of that is going to go play Forbes and Fabianar. Fabianar and Forbes are going to win again. They're going to be another broadcast.
Well, you heard it here first. Sean's pretty good at calling that stuff, so I'll listen to you. All right,
so we got the C bracket.
C bracket. Oop. One too many. Go with Mr. Richards.
What a Richard. All right, so you got Tony Smith and Mark Richards sitting at the 1 seed. In their same subsection, you got Tanner Halper and Ty Thompson. I'm not going to call it disappointing at finishing 9th, but I'm going to call it disappointing because they're one of those teams that I'm like, I wanted to consider them for, power ranking stuff, but they're nowhere near it right now. I want to see them put it together. They're both very talented. Let's see Ty Thompson have a little better showing this time.
It would just take both of them to play maximum potential and then some to overtake.
But it's become
Smith Richards.
It's pretty much gotten to the point with Smith and Richards where it's like if you're in the C bracket, it sucks.
Yeah, that's sorry for you.
Let's make a good run, right? Other teams that could challenge them though. All right. On the same side of the bracket, you have Justin Burton Jr. and Cash Chamness, and you got Graham and Trzynski. Yeah. How about that?
How about them apples? Man, yeah, that's this is the most fun bracket to watch.
And no disrespect here. And you got Hunter Thorne and Hunter Thorson, who had a very good showing. This
bracket sucks for all of the qualifiers that fall in here.
It kind of sucks for cornhole fans, to be honest.
It does, yeah.
And this is no shot at all. But seeing the other side, the B bracket on the right side of that,
yeah,
and then seeing this side, you're like, what
this
the
little
fuck?
subsection has more name power than that.
If you're anybody, if you're Forbes and Fabianar, you need to go win that bracket.
Yeah,
because I don't think you're going to get a better opportunity to go out when you have
one of these guys are going to sneak over there after this one.
Yeah, you have two of the best teams in the world in the same side and the same subsection, and you have Burton Jr. and Cash Chamness, who were looking like a top 10 team.
Yeah,
just sitting there. That's gonna be tough.
That sucks.
It does suck.
I'll watch that one very closely this weekend.
Sitting at the 2 seed, we had Sammy Soto and Colby Shearer. There was some surprise when Soto and Shearer initially signed together. Their chemistry is really good, man. Yeah, okay. They played really well together. I actually enjoyed watching them. Again, I think it helps when Soto is just playing like one of the best players in the world. I think it relaxes Colby a little bit, but he held his own.
Just a bit. Yeah.
They have a really good chemistry. They had a really nice showing the first one. You have Zeb Smith and Yufeng Yang sitting at the 7th seed, and Julius Reyes Jr. and John Mendoza sitting at the 10 seed.
Yupeng.
I think
Yupeng Yang.
I think Soto and Shearer kind of handle their business here.
I would like to think so.
Right below that, you have Guy Nation, Brett Guy, Matt Guy, sitting there. I would love to say Sarah Cassidy and Matt Wilson. This could kind of be like a coming out party for them. But Connor Heiser, Owen Crick, they had a very solid showing the first one.
For sure. Yeah.
But I would like to see Cassidy and Wilson. This is an opportunity here. Go play Matt and Brett Guy.
Yeah.
You can beat Guy Nation. Then people are going to take you seriously.
100%.
Like this is kind of this is big for like the male, female.
Yeah, we had
like
the
doubles teams
moment
going
of
forward.
yeah, we had the moment of Windsor and Belvin.
Yeah, correct.
Like now it's your time.
Like I think you guys can be at that level. Let's just put it all together.
For sure. No, I like that. All right, then rounding us off. Who's the last one?
Let me pull it up. Sorry, I forgot I did the T bracket.
Walker Morse.
Walker and Moore should handle their subsection. Finley and Ramirez with a solid start in pro doubles. They're an 8 seed overall. So just being 2 females finishing an 8 seed, very solid
huge.
showing. Yeah, it is. But again, Walker and Moore, so they're playing like how they did last time. They should handle their business in the subsection. Right below that, you have Anthony Eastridge and Clayton Kennedy sitting at the 4 seed. Jimmy Humans and Ian Cripps. I mentioned this earlier. This just feels like every year, Jimmy Humans and Ian Cripps, either together as doubles or in singles, they always make some sort of broadcast every year.
Yeah.
This just kind of feels like it's kind of open, man. I don't know.
It could, yeah. I mean, again, I think Cripps would tell you that he didn't perform up to his potential in singles after the first one.
No, but I don't know. It just how this is all setting up. Like I think they win this subsection, and then could they maybe catch Walker and Morrison an off game?
Yeah, and honestly, the team just clicks.
That's
like
what I'm
when
saying,
you
man. I
just look at both their
it's
games.
just one of those
it makes
teams.
very much sense.
If you're into betting on cornhole, and I bet you could get pretty good odds on Human and Cripps right now, I would throw a few dollars.
Yeah.
I'd throw a few shekels on them. Just you know what I mean, if they're doing bracket winners or if it's just all out winners, like I'm not going crazy here, okay? But like,
yeah, I mean, it's just if you got a couple extra shekels.
again, like everyone
never
else
know.
in cornhole, every other doubles team is all looking at the C bracket, being like, thank you, thank you for putting Tony Smith and Mark Richards and Graham Trzynski all on the same side of the bracket. Thanks.
Yeah,
Like that opens up another bracket.
it really does.
It really does. So it's a team like Humans and Cripps. It kind of makes sense. Now again, Walker and Morse I think are still heavy favorites. I just wouldn't be shocked if I saw an upset.
Fair enough.
Let's go to the
Fair
other
with
side.
you. Yeah. Scroll.
We have Adam Hister and Trey Birchfield. I don't think anyone even realized that they had a very solid showing last time. They're sitting at the number 2 seed.
Much like Birchfield's singles performance too.
They don't have the easiest of roads, and I say that because Jeremiah Stewart and Jacob Harrison are sitting there.
Yeah.
They're one of those doubles teams that they're not an easy out right now, so Trey and Adam will have to be on their game. I expect Trey and Adam to handle business, and this very much feels like same thing how I said Humans and Cripps could win.
Yeah.
Could win. This just feels like this could be the coming out party again of Hissner and Birchfield making a broadcast.
I would love them to get back there.
Go down just a little bit. I can't remember who that last seed is. Yeah, and again, this is another
This
one.
bottom section's a little tough one too.
Almanza and Wells. They're a team that I believe in both players. I think they're both immensely talented. And if they're both feeling it and they're both clicking and the stars align, I would not be surprised again if we saw just a very weird bracket finals here. Like we're talking Noah Monza, Riker Wells versus Humans and Cripps.
Yeah, I wouldn't even sleep on Schermerhorn and Morales either.
Yeah, they just have that weird chemistry. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like Schermerhorn does. Like they just have that weird, like, it's just, you love them, but you almost kind of hate them.
But not to poo-poo on the 3 seed, which was Lucas Piper and Bo Graff. 'Cause
No, they played great.
showed up and showed out in the first one. So I mean, they're another team that just weird combo.
Yeah,
that
this
you wouldn't
whole bracket
like,
just
ever
feels
expect
like
to
something
hear.
weird's going to happen. Like I just don't feel like it's going to be chalk with big names.
These are usually the guys that you see associated with like Richards and Smith in it, and then
Yeah.
they just clean house. But that's all right. They have Graham and Trzynski on the same side of the bracket.
Yay.
Good fun, man.
Good fun.
So yeah, I mean, I'm excited for Memphis. I'm thinking. We said cornhole was back after the first one.
Yeah, I
want to
agree.
see a continuation of just really great professional cornhole on the big stage. That's the only way that this thing continues popularity. All right,
Yeah.
it's got to be a good product once you get on the main stage. So, all you pros listening, if you make it there, don't choke.
And people saying like making the argument right now is like everyone's too good. You got to make the game harder. I don't think you have to. I think that when they're all so good like this, I think it's a great way to just show how much better than they are than the average backyard player.
I mean, we're getting to the point now where it's who hits that impossible shot ends up winning the game.
Yeah.
Like, and these guys are so comfortable at throwing that shot. The one that you and I would dream of hitting 1 out of every 100. They're ready to let it flick at on a whim. Like, it's unreal.
Oh, it's ridiculous. Like, they do things with bags that like I didn't even know were kind of possible
or legal.
Or legal for sure. All right, so we got a dramatic reading here.
You got one of the drama varieties.
I do.
That's all right. We'll just do piano right off the rip. You got it?
I'm ready. Kind of a sad one. Shout out to our homies, Crazy 8 Bag Company.
Yeah.
Dan Sherlock.
R.I.P., man.
Thank you to everyone that made for several years of good times / memories with your support of Crazy 8. The bag-making world has fizzled for me, and I've decided today is the day to delete this page from Facebook and completely turn the page on this fun and interesting crazy train ride. Best of luck to all you crazies. It was a hell of a ride while it lasted. Crazy 8 officially signing off for the last time. So it's always sad when you see like a bag company that's been around for a while that they're just kind of hanging up.
And they were one of the OG like
they're fun.
Yeah, they're fun ones, man. They came out with sweet designs. Yeah. I vividly remember
the Dominator.
They were just always part of our like bag brawl that we did. And
so I don't know if Dan will listen to this, but shout out to Dan. Thanks for all the support throughout the years, man. I hate to see you doing it, but yeah, man. I hope you are still involved in the cornhole community in some ways. Like he had a really good following of people. You know what I mean? Like a really active page, and you don't see that a lot. You know what I mean? Like there's been a few like smaller independent, we'll call them like bag, like mom and pop kind of groups that have like grown a culture behind them. He was one that did it early on and stayed with it because we've seen so many of them like come and go through the years, but it made a very solid product for many years, and tip the cap for your services, sir.
100%.
Hell yeah. And we got one more here.
Oh,
let me just pull this up.
Pulling it up. Pull it up. Pull it up.
All right, so Addicted to Cornhole. This is from Kyle Morrow. Since when is it ACL policy to have a director, in quotes, forfeit your games, end quote, instead of allowing you to opt out of a tournament? So I guess just to give some backstory, apparently because of like the weather and stuff, a bunch of people at, I think it was the New Jersey Interstate, had contacted the director saying, hey, like, I'm not coming. Like, just please take me out of the bracket. I'm not going to be there.
Yeah.
Apparently what the director was doing was keeping those people in, but just forfeiting their games. So these people were getting decreased stats.
Yeah. And then your CPI drops and
in a few situations, apparently they had somebody just play for somebody else, like as that person.
Oh, you can't do that.
Yeah, so stats were getting lower.
Not for interstate stuff.
I'm interested. I'm going to follow up with this and find out what exactly happened. I can't remember off the top of my head the New Jersey director's name. It's a name that like I knew. I don't think I've ever like met him before, but I was a little surprised that like you do something like so blatant like that.
Yeah, I guess
I don't want to like, this is all coming just from comment section. Again, this is like not me verifying on both sides.
The only thing I could think of is like, did they have to like, are those brackets just like cemented in stone? Like, could they not like edit it like or something? I don't know. So apparently, I'm not familiar with the ACL software and entering it. I would imagine that until the tournaments go live, like you can still update it. Edit everything. Yeah, that's what I would think too.
And again, like I've never been to an ACL tournament, like even an open included, where like the brackets were out ahead of time. Exactly. Like they're launching those like notifications
like
and exactly.
Give everyone updated. And
so basically what you're trying to do is you're trying to give your local players a bump in points because they're going to get forfeited matches. So they're going to make it deeper in those brackets and they're going to benefit off, which is just the dumbest fucking thing ever. Like in chasing points, because at this point in the game, if you just chase points and then you do somehow by miracle get into the ACL somehow, you're going to be exposed so fucking fast.
100%.
And like, it's just not going to be fun.
Yeah.
Like, this is the thing you need to earn. Like, I almost think like get rid of the fucking points thing. It's a pro qualifier only.
I'm there with you.
Make them play to earn it. Like, you want in.
Yeah.
Here's your day. You don't requalify. Well, guess what? We have 12 spots open. This is going to be the hardest tournament in the country every fucking year. But you want a spot? Earn your way in.
Those guys that earn it all tend to
they're
hang
killers.
around and they're killers.
Yes.
So like it's a recipe for success.
Correct. So I'm interested to kind of follow up with that and see where that goes.
Hell yeah, I am too. Because like, how else do you correct it besides just nulling all of the points awarded and decrease from that moment?
I don't know.
Can you like take a screenshot of the moment that all those points were like right before they went out and upload those? Possibly.
Yeah. So I had two just like very random things that like came across my mind randomly.
Fair. Let it rip.
The first one I heard, I don't remember if it was a podcast or if it was just like a quick clip or something, right? And it might have been like a radio show clip of somebody calling in. Regardless, would you rather have a gloving son or a sliding daughter? Now, a gloving son would be one of those. Your son would wear those gloves where they do the orbs and they do the dancing and shit like that.
Okay.
Like, or the sliding daughter would be the girls that wear like those knee pads and they go sliding out and they act like the cat and stuff.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Like where they do all like the tricks and stuff sliding on your knees.
And the slides have like
sparks on
them and
correct.
shit.
Yeah. So which would you prefer? A sliding son or a gloving son or a sliding daughter?
God, that's hard. I got to go with gloving son.
Okay. I completely agree, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would rather my son be the weird one than my daughter.
Yeah, because I don't know, like the anime subculture and stuff that's in like with like the gloving and stuff. Like I feel like that's big enough now in the world that like maybe there's hope for them.
Yeah.
But sliding around on your knees and stuff, like you're going to be a step below like the skaters and stuff then, which is, I mean, that's right with the pogo stickers. All right. That's a weird category to fall into.
You're lower.
Exactly. True.
Physically,
very true. Yeah. At least you're up above the clouds on a pogo stick.
All right. And then, so I'm glad we agree on that part. And then we were playing this game that my son got, and it's like this diner game, right? Where there's 4 ingredients and you have to like deliver them to the table. And the first one to deliver all their ingredients to the table wins, right?
Okay.
So there's 4 ingredients. The things you have to drop off are French fries, a milkshake, a cheeseburger, and a soft drink.
Okay. French fries, milkshake, a cheeseburger, and a soft drink.
All right. So you have those.
Got them.
If they're in a real race, who's the fastest?
Man, so what are we like? Do we think they sprout legs and get up and run?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's just a race. You know what I mean? Like, just.
So I'm going to shock you, and I'm actually going to go. The fastest one's going to be the burger.
Oh, what?
And the reason I say this is
I'm
because
interested.
I immediately think back to the movie Hook, and when that chubby kid grabs his legs and rolls down that ramp, he is cooking. And imagine that burger just hopping up on his side and be like deuces and just rolling his weight and getting it going.
Do you know it's completely random? And I just started following him on Instagram.
Same here. Yeah. Hit our algorithm at the same time. So yeah, I mean, I think that would be my argument for the burger. I think he could roll now. Some might argue, oh, but what about like the shake or something? As soon as it goes on its side, that's not perfectly flat, so it'll like kind of just go in circles. So that would actually have to get legs and start running.
What if they got legs and started running? Who would be the fastest?
Again, I still think even with legs, the burger takes it because he just pops on his side and just rolls it out.
It all started because like me and my wife were like having fun. Like I was making a joke and I'm like, and she's like, well, if they're not physically racing, I'm like, well, yeah, obviously the French fries are the fastest. And she's like, why would you think that? I'm like, to me, it just seemed obvious that the French fries were the fastest.
They're the second fastest because they are the lightest.
Yeah.
And they'll start cooking. I mean,
obviously milkshake is
cooking
last.
with grease. Milkshake 100%.
She did not understand that. She's like, why would you say the milkshake is last? Like, obviously it's a drink. Soft drink probably third, can edge out.
And I think
a little
milkshake
bit.
is last by a long shot. I think that's like
it's slow.
the really
It's thick.
fat kid that
for sure.
it has asthma.
It's out of breath.
trying
Yeah,
to
for
catch
sure.
it,
Yeah, correct. It like did all the laps. You know what I mean? It's
and
like,
the burger's just the cheat code. Maybe he's like the kid in the race that's like handicapped and he's got that like, fast wheelchair. It's not even fair, but still takes it.
Yeah, I mean, we're a little opposite on that, but it's So those.
Did you go fries, soft drink, burger?
No,
shake?
I did fry burger.
Okay.
Yeah. It was. That's why I was surprised you went.
Because then the other thought too is like, is this like a? Is this just a straight
I wanted you to be
race
on my
with
side
no-
because then it would have been like I could go home and be like, I told you, fries are just.
I mean, again, skinny, but they're also now just like one fry happening out. Like it's that whole.
I'm not
box
gonna
running.
lie. The first thing I pictured were like the two fries
Just pushing through, just.
Now,
Now, which fries are we talking about though? Curly fries get the springs, and like then that could be.
I mean,
oh man, god damn it! There's so many avenues.
Yeah, what are the best? Okay,
Yeah,
so
what's the
if they were
fastest
going
version
to,
of a fry?
okay, I was gonna say if they're gonna sprout legs, what would be the best cut of fries? Curly, definitely. If they're the springs, right? But they got to be like can't be the huge loops. They got to be the tight
Yeah, the tight
spiral.
spiral,
Give me
yeah.
2 of those, and that could definitely work.
They got to hard fry them though.
You can't do crinkle cut because like it's the stability wise, they're gonna offer you nothing.
Well, yeah,
And
they
tend to
come
be
to
short.
a point at the end too, so it'd be like running on like
You can't do shoestring because that's just dumb.
Yeah, I mean steak fries
Just
could
feels
work.
slow though.
Yeah,
Like they're not aerodynamic.
Chafing.
Well, I guess if you
They would
turn
chafe, though.
steak fries like this and ran, they'd be more
yeah,
aerodynamic.
that's
That might
true.
be the best.
That could be the one. I mean, what about like I don't think a
missing
waffle
something
fry.
obvious, people?
I don't think a waffle fry could work. Just be like a tongue, just like slap it.
Well, I'm trying to think.
I mean, I'm thinking like
of fries.
so the McDonald's fry is like a wide array. So you have those like tiny little like super cooked ones.
I know, but you
those
want
could
like
stick through and be like. "Ning, ning, 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 ning."
yeah, I'm almost thinking like I want like the
Or
hard
if you
crusty edges like ones.
That's
like
what I'm thinking. Yeah, the really fast ones. Yeah, because the really long floppy ones like those will just like
Some be like, yeah.
Exactly.
You need some power. Need some crisp behind this. All right. Well, anyways, you want to
Now,
cue the rap word
in this race though.
Continue. Good.
Is this like full contact, like first to get to the finish line?
We
no
didn't
holds
really
bar?
specify this, but I liked where you're going.
Because
Yeah.
like that's a
like
whole
a hot
different
dog race kind of thing at the
exactly
Guardians
yeah
game.
like
Yeah,
you
I
can
think so.
check
You
them
can
into
bump
the
in.
boards
Yeah, I
and
think-
shit. Like
I mean, obviously, then you have to give a clear advantage to the burger. I would think.
yeah, because then you're a little wider. You can
But are you though? Like, I think the shake. I mean, no, because they're going to be top heavy.
yeah, but the burger's not going to be tall enough to really hop up there and hit that top
That's
heavy
true.
point.
That's true.
And I mean, the shake could just tip over and spill all of its goods out, slip everyone up, and then just get up and run to the finish line.
I mean, you assume the soft drink has ice or something like that.
yeah, they could use those as weapons.
Yeah.
Can they pull the straw out and just like?
Huh.
Huh.
I don't know. They should
So
make
we
a movie
talked
about
about
this.
we talked about fries.
I might have to
gaining
try.
legs,
I might
but-
mess with Sora later.
Yeah, where do the legs come from? Like the soft drink and the milkshake. Those are just like appeared out of the cup.
Yeah, I
from
can't
nothing.
figure it out. Like, I don't know if they should come out like out this way or they should be out here. I would think out on the sides, like this, not underneath.
Not underneath.
I would think slightly out to the side.
Could be.
Doing a little demonstration for our Patreon.
I was,
folks.
yeah, I was,
I was
watching.
thinking it should be like on the side.
Yeah,
the legs
not,
are like
not underneath.
this, not here. Does that make sense? Okay. Anyways, you want to cue the rap horn now?
Yeah, I guess
Done
so.
talking
Yeah,
about
we're,
random
we're
shit
done
for-
talking about it.
All right. Well, you can reach us on our social medias at Instagram, YouTube, TikTok at Big Asp Cornhole.
Facebook has it at Big Ass Cornhole Podcast. Thanks again to our sponsor, Draggin Bags.
The ultimate winning machine.
Exactly. When the claws come out, grab your Draggin Bags. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Correct.
Reptile claws.
Yes, correct.
Yes.
Reptilian
Reptilian
in
claws.
nature. Amphibious
All right.
in nature. They're dragons. Anyways, if you're looking to support the show, you can do so over at Patreon. If you go to patreon.com/bigasscornhole for the price of a beer a month, you can help support the show. You get the video version of all of our episodes. We do monthly happy hours. One's going to be coming up soon. We have some kick-ass guests coming up too. We have, again, right after this, you're going to hear the Kyle Singles interview. He is the owner of the Chicagoland Spinners.
Spinners.
We have the owner of the Texas Bully Baggers on next week, as well as Matt Guy scheduled. After that, we have the president of the MGA. Yeah, so it's gonna be
be
cool.
chock full, man.
Yeah,
And then we're heading to Vegas.
and then we are going to fucking Vegas. So if you're gonna be in Vegas and you're listening to the show, message us. Let us know you're
Please,
gonna be
yeah.
there. All right, because
Let's link up.
Yeah.
Let's find a spot that we could
Let's
all
do
like,
it.
go meet up and party.
Yeah, I mean, you'll see us at the Open. We're not playing.
We'll
We're
do it at
gonna
Fremont.
be there trying to get content as much as we can. But from my understanding, it's small. There's only going to be like 30 something.
So if you didn't get in, but you still wanted to go to Vegas,
we're going to be there.
We're going to be there.
Yeah,
doing that same thing.
Hell yeah. All right. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the interview with Kyle. It was awesome, man. He's really interesting guy.
Dude,
I think he's going to be good for the game.
Fun to hear about his background and everything.
Yeah,
and
man. It's something I knew nothing
good
about.
For the game.
For sure. So hope you guys enjoyed it. We'll be back next week with more audio gold. But until then, we hope you throw it straight. And it's nothing but 4 baggers from here on out.
Cornhole it.
Later. All right. Well, welcome back to yet another episode of the Big Ass Cornhole Podcast. We are now joined by Mr. Kyle Singles. He's the new owner of the Chicagoland Spinners. What's going on, man?
Not much. Excited to be on the pod with you guys.
Oh, yeah, man. So we know nothing about you, and I love doing these kind of interviews because rarely do we get that these days. You know what I mean? Like we do a lot of like pro players and bag manufacturers. So we kind of already have like an inkling. You're kind of like you're fresh meat. So this is great. I love it.
And honestly, like
welcome.
I'm excited because our last 2 that we've done with the team owners have been like a resurgence for us. Like hearing the energy come back into this game that seemed to have gotten a little stale over the last season or so. Like it makes my day. So I'm very much looking forward to it.
All right. So tell me a little bit about yourself. Like where are you from originally?
I'm originally from Wisconsin, a
Okay,
town called Beloit, Wisconsin.
All right.
Born and bred, lived there for the first 18 years of my life. I guess I'll go for I'm almost like, chronological order of where I've lived, Wisconsin, born and bred, went to college in Eau Claire, Wisconsin, the University of Wisconsin, Eau Claire. Okay. So I guess you could say I am a deeply Midwestern person.
Yep.
Did a few years in Indianapolis randomly. Went back to Wisconsin, where I was actually, I guess we can get into some career stuff. I haven't practiced the elevator pitch for myself yet. This is the first time. It's all coming out for the first time in like a decade.
It's great.
And I actually went back to Wisconsin. Then I moved to Chicago for like 10 years about. And then sometime towards the end of the pandemic period, I kind of got stir crazy in Chicago, being stuck in an apartment, and just kind of was like, I need to get out. So then I bounced around between Arizona, Austin, Texas, did 6 months in South America in a whole different type of midlife crisis situation.
Oh yeah.
I don't know which is worse, the 6 months in South America or buying a professional cornhole team. I'll let you guys be the judge.
Hey, listen.
But then about 2 years ago, I moved to Los Angeles. So I'm in Los Angeles right now.
All right, that's quite the journey.
Yeah, that's the location-based journey is kind of all over the place.
So I mean, what the hell were you doing for work during all this?
I know. I saw something. You worked for Cameo. Is that correct?
I did. I was one of the first like 20 employees at Cameo.
Yeah.
So very Chicago, very startup based. Actually kind of like my first foray into the creator economy. So they say.
Yeah. So how long were you there for?
I was there for 4 years.
Okay. Very
cool. It's funny, and I will kind of draw some of the comparisons to cornhole is that when the world shut down, Cameo, much like cornhole, saw a huge spike in people needing to connect with other people, whether it be the community basis of actually playing bags 17 feet away from each other or whatever it might be, or just like things that were media properties like spiked up significantly during that same period of time. So Cameo was going gangbusters. We went from like 30, 40 people to 400, by the time the end of the pandemic was there. And then maybe similar to cornhole, I don't really know. Then there was a pullback on some of those things. So Cameo ended up laying off a couple rounds of people. At some point, I decided to kind of like take my leave as well and kind of move on to the next part of my journey, which in that part was actually the 6-month trip to South America before I came back and moved to Austin. But so that was kind of like my first real like experience working with like the creators, celebrities, kind of like
what was your
viral communities, things like that. What's up?
What was your role at Cameo?
I was head of talent. So my teams were bringing creators onto the platform or celebrities onto the platform, and then managing those creators once they were. So more like account management, talent representation, except we didn't like manage talent traditionally. It was more get into our ecosystem, we'll make you money.
Okay, fair enough. Now, are you still in this very similar line of work?
Similar line of work. I actually work for a company called Shorthand Studios, which is like in a similar space, but we're more creative services. So we run 100 creators Facebook pages, 30 YouTubes, 25 Snapchats, a whole bunch of other stuff within that, but basically anything you can imagine that would be like in the post-production on for a creator or a media company, like my team does that.
Okay. Very cool. And then are you so you bought a professional cornhole team? Or we've established that. How familiar, before you get into like why you just ultimately decided to do this, like how familiar with the game were you at all? Like have you
We'll put it this way.
a big tournament?
What's that?
Have you been to a tournament before?
Not yet, but I'm going to.
Oh.
No, I haven't. So, I mean, I'm familiar with the game of cornhole. I'm born in Wisconsin. Like I've been to every tailgate on the planet, like whether it be the Packers, the Brewers. Sure. So I've played the game, like, I was in early 20s to mid 20s. I had lost a friend, and we used to do like a charity event every year that raised a bunch of money. It was all cornhole based. So like I had a lot of really strong affinity and positive feeling towards the game of cornhole.
Yeah. For sure.
And then I'm also like, I'm really in tune to sports, like I'm a sports fan, like I saw when cornhole joined ESPN, like I've put it on TV in the background, like I've watched some of those things. I wouldn't say I was an avid fan of that stuff, but for someone that like pays attention, like I definitely knew what was going on in the space. But no, man, like I've had to learn a lot. And I'm like, it's not even like probably 2% of what I need to know. I kind of just like taking one bucket at a time and just like, okay, that's the thing I need to learn right now, figure it out, move on to the next thing. But
so can I ask, how did you even find out that team, like, so if you were a casual fan at best, right? We'll call it.
Yeah.
How did you even find out that the ACL was like selling like the licensing rights to teams?
Yeah. So I do a lot of research for my job. I'm actually like and at that period of time, I was kind of mapping out and looking at the different, I wouldn't say all sports leagues, but kind of like the sports leagues and YouTube channels or social media channels that I thought maybe were underutilized or assets weren't quite as developed as I think that they should be, and there's a lot of, I don't want to say tier 2, tier 3 sports, but sports that aren't like your prominent 5 or 6, and so trying to see if there was some opportunity there to like work with them from our basis. My company works with like the professional bull riding, runs their YouTube, like in some of those things. So there's like adjacent stuff that's happening in my day-to-day job. And while I was researching that, I saw the PR release come out and I was like, I just like was very intrigued by the whole thing. And I was like, I'm going to reach out. I was already trying to reach out about some of the other things that I do on a day-to-day basis, but I was like, you know what? I'm going to have this conversation too, because I also thought there might be an opportunity in the world I live in. I work with creators, I work with people with big followings, like we work with with people that are creating their own games and getting millions of dollars, millions of views and distribution and things like that. So I'm like, an already established sport, that has kind of all these things like working in its favor without having it created from scratch. I should have this conversation. Then I talked to Stacey Moore for, probably 45 minutes to an hour. He kind of laid out his thoughts on it. And I was like, okay, I have enough information to at least make a pros and cons list. And then just kind of like went through that list. And in the end, I was like, I think I'd be more mad at myself if I didn't do this than if I did, if that makes sense.
Okay. So you said you made a pro and con list. I'm interested. Obviously you want the pro list. So let's start with the positive stuff. What were on the pros? Like, why did you ultimately decide like this is the move I want to make?
All right. I don't, without remembering the exact line item.
Yeah, obviously.
Okay. There's not a lot of sports out there that have 50 plus million people playing the sport. Like that's like one. Two, they do have an established social media presence that I think is pretty strong. I wouldn't say it's the best of every sport.
Okay. I will tell you as a social media guy. All right. It has changed drastically over the last 6 months, and I will applaud. And
in the positive,
three straight months. I think this is 3 straight episodes. I'm saying that I'm giving them kudos because they've made the changes. It's like a legit sports like social media page now. It's not like pros doing like TikTok trends all over. It's like it used to be run by like 20-year-old teeny boppers. Like, dude, like that's not your demographic. I used to say all the time, you guys are missing your demographic. Now they're finally hitting it. They're pumping out videos at steady rate, so they're doing a much better job.
Yeah, I agree with you. Also, I'm kind of catching that swing at the right time. So I mean, they have an established media property,
Okay.
like, so that's definitely a pro. Like I think then in the end, they also have an ecosystem that's built out to feed it. That's a big positive for me. Like, and then I'm going to the positives. Well, it was hard to predict, like at that specific point, but it's kind of they have built-in revenue model for me, like to kind of come in as an owner. And while that is not clear yet, like I know what it could be and I know what the opportunity is if we can get to
Okay.
those specific points. So there is revenue generation. And then like cost basis, like I'm in this business, I see how much teams go for, even in these like offshoot leagues from a franchise perspective. And while this ownership model is really more of a licensing model, like for the prospect of ownership, I mean, I'm not a rich man, like I think
Yeah.
I've done pretty well for myself. I'm not about to retire on a island anywhere,
Correct.
but like I feel pretty comfortable. And in the end, I
You
do.
live in LA, so I mean, like you do well
Well,
now.
trust me, if I that would be if I didn't live in LA, I probably would feel rich. But no, and I'm like, you know what? I've invested in some startups, like friends and family, things like that. So I'm not risk averse. And in this one, I was like, this is kind of part betting on something that exists, something that I can bet on myself. And the entrance fee, like to me was so much lower than what it could be to get in some version of this that I was like, pull the trigger, like the
I mean,
cons,
I think
the
at
cons
face
are like,
value,
it's not really truly mapped out perfectly, like
Yeah.
it's going to be a startup, but the truth is that's what I've been doing for 8 years. Like I know what it's like to have almost zero stuff in place and then have to put something and get it. And then the next thing, and you just keep kind of like doing it. And then in a year, you're like, oh, wow, I really built a lot of stuff behind that. So yeah. And then you just look at my experience, I guess, on the pros, like I talk about this stuff in my day-to-day job, so it's not crazy from a media perspective and a social media perspective and things along those lines, that this would be something that I'm interested in. With that said, a lot of backstory and a lot of cornhole lore, I guess, that I did not know or have like learned through that process. Uh, Nothing that's like surprised me so negatively that I was like, that was a bad idea. But certainly like, oh, that probably had been a good thing to like note, like early in the
that's
process.
all.
Yeah,
We should have talked.
should have given us a call. We
Yeah. Well, we'll talk. I mean, I think you guys were doing the live stream during the draft.
Yeah.
I had you up on one screen. I had the real actual draft live stream going on another. And then I was doing my own draft sheet, my own draft board. So I was watching, I was like, oh, just in case they drop a little tidbit over here on each side, I need to like make sure I'm getting whatever qualitative stuff that I didn't factor in.
And then we cut out.
This is like, yeah, correct. So this is one of those. Basically, you joined the world's most expensive fantasy cornhole league right now.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
But so like at face value, that's what it is, because you guys are basically competing for the prize money that you guys are entered, right? And so if your team goes out there balls out, you're gonna be very happy. You might find yourself on an island potentially. You know what I mean? So there is that spot. I think it's very interesting having a guy with a social media background coming into this. It's a unique avenue that we haven't seen yet.
Yeah.
What do you expect to, like, as an owner? Like, do you know yet, like, what you are hoping to get out of this? Like,
From like a revenue perspective,
not
or
even revenue. Like, do you hope that this like gets into like the league is blowing up and it turns into like something big? You know what I mean? Like, is that what you're hoping for, or is this just like a?
I wouldn't say I hope for it. It's more like I want to work towards it, if that makes sense. Like I don't think this is a thing that's guaranteed at all. Like, and I don't know. I haven't been media trained, and I also hadn't signed any NDAs. So, no, like I actually don't know 100% sure if this would work. But I do know what I'm capable of, and I do know enough information to know that like if it does go right, it's a really good position to be in. And I think that I'm banking on the fact that it will be more valuable at the end of this than when I started. Now, I don't know how much you guys know on what they've released or not, but like essentially at the end of this tenure, I'll get the first option to buy the team. Like if I do a really good job, I don't know, that might be too expensive, but at the very least, then I at least get a kickback on it if I don't end up purchasing the team like in its full, which I think so I do factor that into like how much money I'm going to put in versus
100%.
not. But also, like I said, some of it's just grinding and my own blood, sweat, and tears I'll put into it. And so we'll see what that looks like at
No,
the end.
I
But
think
yeah, man, I mean, I want it to work. I want the team's model to work. I want to be a part of letting these players like be able to actually like make a living on this. Like, I don't see any reason why the top 100 players can't make this a full-time thing if they want to or not. Like,
well, that's kind of my like leading into where I was kind of thinking next is I'm going to consider you an outsider. All right. Coming into our cornhole community, you're a casual fan. Like, what do you think that cornhole there's still room for growth overall? Because we've seen a boom, right? Like, over the last 7 years that we've been doing this show, like, we peaked, man, like probably 2 years ago. And then, like, now it's just kind of plateaued. Like, is there room for growth, or are we kind of like, obviously,
yeah,
I know it's hard asking you because obviously you bought a fucking team, Mike, right? You're like,
yeah. I mean, look,
that's going to happen, but like, what do you like from an outside perspective? What needs to happen for this to occur? Because we very much have plateaued. Dare I say, decline? Now I know ACL numbers of participation have gone up, but like, I don't know.
yeah, I mean, look, like, yes, there's growth because I mean, look, I'll just say it simple. Yes, I believe that there's growth because there's billions of people on this planet. Like,
Yeah.
uh there is more people that could watch or consume this sport than currently watches or consume this sport. What I think though, I mean, it needs to be treated, at least on the team side and the content side, like an entertainment property.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
that's what it
Why
has
I'm
to
excited
be.
that you're involved in this.
And that doesn't, that doesn't mean or detract from the fact that I think it's a really strong, for the ACL to invest the way it does in the community aspect of it, because that's the players that need to play, like, that's a lot of how their business model is set. But in the end, for the sport to grow from a brand sponsorship standpoint, from a revenue standpoint, for anything like that, it has to be something that grows eyeballs and attention, and it has to be entertaining because that's the world that we live in today. And I have a lot of ideas about that, but also, like, in the end, it's going to take all the other owners kind of seeing the same vision and the ACL seeing the same vision. But like, I don't know, man. Like, if you knew me and people find out that they do this, like, or that I did this, they're like, "Oh, what are you going to Savannah banana?" And I'm like, "No, I'm not," because one, that's its own thing and it's its own universe, and that would be changing intrinsically the structure of this sport to do something built for virality like that.
Correct.
But can you learn from it, and can you make it more fun to watch or participate or engage in from a viewership standpoint? 100%. I think that something we didn't talk about. I did 2 years of comedy in Chicago at Second City. Like,
Shit.
I've gone through UCB. I do improv, particularly on the side. So like, from a creativity standpoint, there's a million things you could do to continue to like build on that as an entertainment property. And you just need to do it, execute it, invest in it, like, and it doesn't happen overnight either.
No.
So,
Well, and I didn't know anything about you, but I was trying to do my due diligence. And I saw that I came across that you used to work at Cameo. Did not know your role or anything like that. But when you said you were involved in like content creation and the social media side of things, like, to me, like, that's so exciting. Cause like I've said for years, I think the one thing that's keeping this from like getting to like the next level, I don't think it's ever going to be like this wildly popular, crazy thing, right? I think at its core, it's still a participation sport, but I do think there's definitely room to grow, but we have to like make it cool. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
there just hasn't been anyone in this realm that's like has the experience to like really take it to the next level on the social media side. So I'm excited to see someone like with your background to see what we can do here. So
Thanks. Well, we'll see, but it's also, I do think it needs to be cool, but I also have learned a lot about what cool kind of means, like, it just needs to be cool to the right people, like, cool can mean a lot, is very subjective, like, actually, I think it just needs to be kind
We're
of,
not cool.
it needs to be a little aspirational, like, and I think, dude, you see the indicators, like, I mean, you've got some of these young under 18s, which I didn't draft on my team, but I mean, look at some of their social followings, look at the interactions that they get, like, you know, you have to start thinking about the next target audience is, and they do already kind of have some of that happening
they do.
organically. It
Sucks.
just needs to be doubled down on.
Yeah, I know it sucks. Like, it's so just imagine yourself, all right, standing on a board and you're calling yourself a professional at something, and a 12-year-old walks up to the board and just ragdolls you. Like, do you know how demeaning that is as a grown man? Like,
Yeah, I can imagine it, but also
tough.
then I guess you need to put in the work.
Oh yeah, but
Yeah.
if the 12-year-old's on your team, like, fuck you, marketing gene. Like,
Yeah. Like I just think I mean, but that's also like they got the time, like
oh yeah,
a lot
Yeah.
of a lot of the older players, have side day jobs and things like that. Like if I was 12 again and I could go out and throw 10,000 bags a day, like, maybe I would have had a different path in my life.
there's no secret to why like the best players in the world right now are all like 20. We can add some of the younger guys in, but for the most part, like from 20 to like 26.
Yeah.
For the most part, it's like they're still on parents' insurance. You know what I mean? Like they don't have to have a full-time job. Cornhole's their gig. They just travel the country, play really well.
Yeah. But
After
then you
26.
have those select few though
Yeah.
that have been awarded the opportunity to like
Correct.
actually make a lifestyle being a pro cornhole player, and the fact that they've maintained that status is like the most impressive part to me,
Yeah.
because I never expected it for as long as we've been in this game to actually see that come to fruition. We have, I mean, I would probably say 3 right now that are always at the top.
Oh, yeah.
Year in, year out, that just do this for a living, that
Bef-
are outside of that
Oh,
age
yeah.
range.
Before we get to your roster, because I definitely want to get to your roster.
Great.
I'm not
we do.
skipping
Happy to talk about it.
I'm not skipping over your con list. All right, you made a pro and a con list. What was on the con list? Like, what were some of the questions that you had? Like, maybe
Let's just, I think it all boiled down to one is there's absolutely no guarantee I get this money back.
Yeah.
Like there's a couple others, but like it was a bet, a big bet. And you kind of put it the right way, the most expensive fantasy cornhole roster possible. With that said, I was like, if this doesn't work out, if I just didn't play fantasy football in 5 leagues for the next 20 years, it's basically the same. Or some version of that.
were you there when I talked to my wife about this?
No, it's it was
We
a
have to golf. Yeah.
no, and I think that like there was some other stuff too. Like, even though I'm a team owner, like it's not like the vision I have is the thing that'll happen. Like we talked about what I think about an entertainment property, and I feel like there's some alignment there, but like I'm not the decision maker. I don't own the league. I'm not the like purveyor of all these things. So while that's not necessarily the money return, that's also like I can influence, but in the end, like I'm not the final boss of this happening that way. So that's a con because if I felt like I could control all the factors, then that would be different, like, and then there's the internet's crazy, man. World's crazy. Like I don't know what's gonna shift in the next 2 years, like
Do people turn in every week just to listen to 2 guys talk about professional cornhole? Isn't that wild?
Yeah.
Like that's what I tell people all the time. Like people will laugh. They're like, what's your podcast about? Mike's about cornhole. They laugh. I'm like, do you know how many people listen to this show? Like, yeah. I'm like, there's
this
people
there's
that
this
care about
creator, there's this whole it's a like I don't know, it's not a mission statement. It's an article someone wrote maybe 15 years ago. It's called 1,000 Fans, and I can't remember who wrote it, but it's based the whole premise of this is if you can find 1,000 true fans to interact with you, buy the things that you do, and participate, you can make a pretty solid living. Like, and
was
they
it
applied it.
I think it might have been Barstool.
No, this is like it's probably way deeper than that. But almost every media company and content creator today has read that article or like it has been referenced as it, like, and it is how I've kind of really come to think about it too. Like think about it. If you get $10 subscription, 1,000 subscribers, that's $10,000 a month. You're at 120,000 a year. Like that could be a living. Like
It can be.
so and then you think about that and you amplify that. Like in the sports world, like if I could get 1,000 true Chicagoland Spinner fans, besides my mom and all of her friends, and then all the moms of all my players and her friends, which is maybe
that's at
solid
least
25.
I mean,
like,
I
I think we could get to 1,000. Like Chicago fans are solid. Like
They
if
are.
I can get this in front of them, I think they'll be like, all right, we'll pick up a few of those.
I was gonna ask why did you go with Chicago? Is that just because it was Midwest?
Dude, I still, even though I live in LA, man, when people ask me where I live or I'm from, Chicago is still the first thing that pops in my head.
Okay.
And then I think that in general, like I'm from Wisconsin, but I mean, my whole adult life was basically Chicago by choice. Like the world took me in a few different paths, and I don't know if this will bring me back there or not. But I mean, when I was talking to Stacy, I was like, what markets are available? Like, and at that time, I think California had already been taken and Texas had already been taken. And I was like, is Chicago available? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, oh boy. I said, I don't need to hear about any other teams because I got to be honest. I don't know if I would have gone in if Chicago wasn't available. It would have been a
Stars
factor for me
aligned.
because I'm like, you know what? I don't have a huge emotional connection to the other places, like that are represented in the roster, but like Chicago, I can sell that. Like I'm very blue collar Midwestern Chicago grit. Like I feel like my personality is very in tune to the Chicago world. So like, yeah, I was like, okay. And then I was like, oh, I better do it fast because I don't want anyone else to do it. So that was also a factor. I had to go through all these pros and cons and decision making process in like a 5-day period of time because I was like, I need to just make a call or not because who knows? I didn't want to like be the guy that was like, I called up and then it was like Virginia. And I was like, and that's not a dig on Virginia. It just would have been like the team wouldn't have been super excited to like participate. And also now I feel like I'm hating on Virginia. No problems with Virginia.
It's just funny because they've been like historically they've been the last place team pretty much like every year almost.
I honestly would not have known that reference.
Yeah,
because
but
I
again,
have not learned the
fresh,
historical.
so it's like, but yeah,
I mean, the greatest team to ever live, the Ohio Aviators, is no longer. I mean, as of now. So.
Well, you know what? We're gonna do a hell of a job this year, and then we're gonna get the rest of those sold next year. I think.
I'm hoping so, man.
We'll make it no brainers. We're gonna bring these teams back into the league.
fair enough.
I liked your take that it's like, I mean, it's basically investing in a startup. Because like, I mean, when you think about it, it's easy to invest in a startup when there's not really any clear competition. And like, how many startups can you say that you've invested in that have already had like trial runs to this magnitude?
That's what I'm saying. It's a startup, but there's some infrastructure there.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's for the main league, and that's one of the things about a startup is once I realized I'm like, oh, I have to go find the editor, like, oh, and I have to get my own set of people to help me do some of these things. And even though it's my day job, like those are company resources. I try not to, I kind of have a handshake agreement, I guess, in the way that like they know I'm doing it. But also like I'm keeping it very separate. And I really try to like keep it my weekends and nights and like, so I can say that there's not an email or something that comes out in the middle of a conversation, but like my job is like my number one focus, but I mean, this is still a big focus for me.
For sure. All right. So you come in and you're a casual fan, and we learned that each team is allowed to sign 2 free agents before the start, and they're like their franchise players, and they're gonna be paid more than all the guys that are drafted.
Yep.
Right. And we get teams, and some of the teams we kind of made sense. We kind of put when we found out who the owners were, we're like, all right, well, Mike Hennessy buys a team like for Georgia. Mark and Tony are going over there. They're number 1 doubles team for the last 2 years. Might be the best doubles teams of all time, right? They're going there. There's no way that Brad from AAR is going to let Carolina Coasters not start with JT and Jamie Graham. True. Like, obviously, that just makes sense. You already pay them a shit ton of money. What's a little bit more on top? And then you guys come, and those are like the cream of the crop, like really good starts. You had California starting off with Team Brotherhood. They're like, oh, well, obviously Brent just wants to keep his dudes. Like, that's going to be a fucking tough squad. And then I hear Chicagoland coming out of left field with Colin Hodette and Ethan Walker, I fucking loved it.
When we saw that, I'm like, Sean, are we making this team right
100%.
now? Like, seriously, I was so fucking
all the people like that hadn't been signed yet. Now, and I didn't know that Ethan had decided to play. I didn't know if he was opting in or opting out. And then of all the free agents, so those were 1 and 2 on my list pretty much. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, this is because it gives you a lot of versatility. Like, how did you come to finding out like those were your first 2 dudes?
So, that's funny because this thing is it all started coming together so fast. And I was actually in Australia in November, so I missed like an owners meeting, and I was like, I knew what was coming. Like there was going to be a free agency signing period, then a draft, but also like I was trying to be like, what does that even mean? Like what do I need to actually do to be able to do some of these things? So I do what I do in my day job, and I was kind of just like, all right, well, like I got back and like 3 people were signed already, and I was like, oh shit, like I need to like get on this, like in a way that like this is real and like happening now. I knew it had to happen, but I was like, okay, cool. So I mean, they gave us a little bit some data. They gave me basically last year's singles, doubles, like stats across the board, but only last year's. And I was like, okay, well, that's enough to like think about this, but also like I have no historical reference on any of these players. So I'm like, well, I'm gonna let the data lead me first. It's like, okay, great. So I built my own like model using the data that it was kind of like factoring in, yes, PPR, like both on the singles and doubles, like which I was kind of calling your performance data, like what is the actual, oh, and then so your DPR, your PPR, and then like one or two others that I kind of like put in this bucket. It's like, all right, this is like individual performances, like what it looks like. And then I bucketed everything else, which was like match win percentage and like overall win percentage, like in its own like outcome bucket. And I was like, great. Not only do they perform here, but they do there. Then I created like a weighting system to like how I thought it should like kind of like play out. And that built me, without getting into every single detail, my board, like 1 through 100. I did all 650 players, but I also set a couple of floor benchmarks of things that just canceled you out, like, so I took that top 100 and I got it down to about 50. And I was like, all right, this is like my board. And then candidly, Colin and Ethan were at the top of that board, at least in the top 5 of that board. And then I sent out 30 emails to the top 30 players, and I tried to interview as many as I could, at least have a 20-minute conversation because I wasn't going to go with just the data. Talk to Ethan, talk to Colin, talk to a bunch of other guys. And honestly, everyone I talked to, I was like, I could probably draft you. There was no like crazy red flags. But in the end, it was 1, the performance data. 2, I really just connected with those guys, like they're young, they're hungry, like I feel like they're on the upswing. They're also like, from my perspective, from a social media perspective, 2 people that are like trying to figure that out, like, and are at least capable or trying to create and make content for themselves, like on top of their own self, which was like we'll call that a tiebreaker, but it wasn't like if you look at my roster,
you were aware of their social media presence before.
Oh yeah, I looked at everybody's. I mean, short of doing 5 days and mapping every single social media presence. Yeah, I mean, I had a pretty good idea, and I wasn't looking for like 100,000 followers or anything like that. I was just looking for like, oh, they're putting out videos, like they're putting some effort into this. They've generated a little bit of a following, like whether that be through their manufacturers that they're dealing with or not. And like in the end, you look at those 4 factors. That's how they ended up being my first 2. Like,
do you realize that they play a very similar game, like very similar?
I do. I kind of learned that through the process. And actually, there was one video, and actually, I didn't see it until after. It was there was those 2 both. It was like a head-to-head rolling competition or something in one video. Like, and I realized I was like, oh, okay, yeah, they do the same thing. I was like, I can't change the name from Spinners to Rollers, but like at the same time, like, great. And I mean, I love Ethan. I love Colin. But I was like, when I talked to Colin, I was like, Roll King, I get it, dude. That's branding. I'm in. Oh, you got me sold. I can blow that up, like, or some version of it.
They are 2 of our like, we've interviewed a lot of people. They're 2 of our favorite people. We sponsored Colin last year, when he was a rookie. And then Ethan, we're actually golfing with Ethan in Vegas. In like 3 weeks. So like 2 of our favorite dudes. Like, we couldn't have been happier that.
Is there a 4th? Because I got that's only about a 30-minute flight for me.
Like, could be.
I don't know what day.
Vegas, come out to Vegas.
More the merrier. We can book other
There's plenty of I was just saying.
Okay. All right.
Out there. So I mean, I'm all.
Hell yeah.
I mean, the cornhole content side of things is can be lacking that weekend. I think a little bit, but.
It's Vegas.
There. Yeah,
exactly. It's Vegas.
Find content other ways. Damn it.
Just do a social media post. You bet $50 every 50 followers or something until you're broke, or get 10,000 followers.
Well, heavy broke after the first one. So first loss. Oh, all right. Moving on.
Your first draft pick, I thought, was very smart. And I didn't know, because at the time, again, I didn't know anything about you. And we didn't know if you were a cornhole dude, if Ethan was sitting right next to you and they were picking. But like, it definitely didn't seem like that, because you picked like a very mixed mash group of dudes who just happened to be probably like our favorite, like top 10. Like, all of your guys that are like on your team honestly, are like some of our favorite interviews we've ever done.
The versatility of your team is insane.
Like, I know. I've read the commentary. I'm gonna have to make some choices. I get that, but I'm like, it's champagne problems.
Yeah,
exactly.
Whedon Phil's coming off obviously just won doubles. I mean, you couldn't have asked for a better.
Well, he didn't even win that until the next day. So
that's what I'm saying.
I was feeling
He looks
I was
like
feeling pretty good about that first pick after that. I was like, I guess we did something right.
The weed
Right.
whacker.
And then AJ
But-
Sims is very smart. Just a pro's pro. You know what I mean? Like he's always in the mix. You know what I mean? Like very versatile team dude. Like just you can't get better like team hype wise,
Yeah.
than AJ Sims. You know what I mean? And I love the fact that he didn't go to Texas. You know what I mean? Just a little bit. You know what I mean? Like I do love
Hey man, the board was laid out. I tried to, like who knows what would happen if I didn't have the 8th pick. Like there were other people on the board. I gotta give kudos to Colin and Ethan because you asked like, were we sitting next to each other? No, but I was on a live text thread because
Okay,
they were at the
yeah.
live draft. And I mean, like I knew that I don't know everything. So they definitely gave me some context and I have to thank them because like I might have had Ryan on the board. I don't know if he was number 1 at that time or the next 3 or whatever it might be, but I depended on those guys for some of the like qualitative context that I don't have. And in the end, I think they knew that like, one, I just want to work with people that are really nice and easy to work with, and just like in the game, and
Listen, whatever your process was it was good. I mean, we've been very lucky over the like last few years, and we've been very good at predicting who's going to win stuff. And I've been preaching Wiedenfeld like the month before he won doubles. And it's just he's primed and ready. So when you drafted him, I'm like, this guy knows what he's doing. And then you followed it up you went with Sims. And then you grabbed Jimmy Humans.
Yeah.
And then the last pick, and I'm assuming now that I know that you're talking to Ethan, grabbing David Morse is such a sneaky good pick because
So
then
good.
you have Ethan's doubles partner, and they're projected to be top 5, top 10 at worst.
And Dave
Like
Morse
doubles
might
team.
be the
Yeah.
most improved OG pro of all time.
Yeah.
Like the dude has
Yeah.
just, I mean, he's just becoming a problem again. It's so fun to watch him.
Yeah. I mean, I'll be honest. I was prepared to trade for him at the end if it didn't. I mean,
Well, with how it was going, I wasn't. Dave was like, I was wondering if he was going to get taken.
he was pretty high up on our board.
I was
coming down.
nervous. I was like, I had talked to David in the process, and he lives 2 blocks from where I lived in Chicago for 10 years.
Nice.
He's in that Chicago community, and I really did want somebody that was connected to that community in some way, shape, or form. There isn't a ton of Chicago people that are in the top 100 in the league. So like, but in the end, that's kind of where it worked out. And I was sitting there like, I was like, hey, you know what? If it doesn't, I'm gonna have a phone call after this, or some version of it, because it was just too good. Who knows what I would have had to give up, but I'm glad it worked out the way it did.
Hey, I mean, you got the guy that saved Barstool Chicago.
Yeah,
I know. I do. I just heard that a week ago, and I was like,
yeah.
somebody's got to. I was like, yeah, we gotta. Might have to see if that relationship's warm. Let's get a little more Barstool action going.
Have you guys signed any free agents?
No, we have not. I'm not opposed to it, but at the same time, I've got 6 people and essentially 5 slots,
Yeah, I know. It's tough.
I think the only way, look, I'm open to anything, and some of the owners have kind of pinged me about players and like thinking about trade stuff to try to pair theirs. And I'm like, look, I don't think I'm going to do anything.
When you signed Colin Hodat and just ruined California's plans of Team Brotherhood, like that was like, I'm like, I couldn't wait to see what Brent did. And then he went full off the rails and like, fuck it, we're not going Team Brotherhood. And I'm like, that was great. So
I mean, I do think it was a benefit for me to not. I could look at the board purely objectively and have no.
Yeah.
I had no influence because I needed to do a certain thing to fit a thing, which is why I think the board kind of laid out for me in a way that you're viewing it, and also I think that I'm viewing it as well. But he's been great too. Over at Brotherhood, he's been really nice, and we've been going back and forth about some things. All the owners are great. But it's like hard to. I mean, I haven't met any of these owners in person either. There's a few that I've connected with and like communicate with, and like there's a group chat, but also like everybody's doing their own thing. So
I think very highly of Brent. We like Mike Hennessy very much.
Bag makers that have teams are
the only one we don't know is Brad from Carolina.
Yeah,
he's been around the game forever. Our paths have like really just never crossed.
It's a big part of the game.
Yeah, he is. You'll hear him when he's in the room. You'll fucking know he's in the room. Like you'll know he's there.
Great.
Cheering for teams very hard. So
well, good. I mean, I think everybody's bringing something to the table. Like I think. And I think that that's what's important for this group of owners, trying to build this thing up. I don't think anyone's been negative about it or like a no person, like it's just been like, let's figure these things out one at a time.
Are you going to let them are you going to set a roster going into this, or are you going to kind of like Is it going to be like a team discussion,
gonna be
or are
my
you
next
going to? I mean,
question.
obviously,
Look, I look. Here's the deal. At the minimum, there's going to be a team input. In the end, I'm the owner and decision maker.
okay.
But also,
because don't get
I've
bullied,
thought about
right?
all sorts of ways to go about this. You know, like, and I mean, there's fan engagement. Do I want fans to like help participate? You know, like in some way, shape, or form. You know, like, is it going to be performance based off of momentum? You know, like, because like there's still 2 events before our first event even starts. You know, like, let's see how people's season starts. You know, like, do I just like kind of let it? You know, there's just all these different ways to do it. And like, honestly, I haven't even like gotten to the like, how am I setting the roster on day one yet? That's like 3 more problems away. But I'm open to advice though. What should I do? What do you think? What would you do
Dude,
right now if
so
you
what
could
I-
set the roster today
was
on day
literally
one?
just-
I'm
was
just being
literally
first over Sean because
Go ahead.
Sean's very much an analytics guy.
Go ahead. I want to hear what you said. I have
You have, in my opinion, 2 guys on your team, possibly 3, that watch a lot of cornhole and they watch a lot of players as they're walking the room. That's Ethan Walker and Sims. And I think also probably Morris too. I would trust their input on who the hot hand is, because cornhole is very much like analytics a season across. Yeah, that's great to look at, but it's very much who the hot hand is going into any given weekend, and those seem to be the steady eddies. Now you can look at like recent performances and stuff and kind of gauge that, but there's something about like everyone has that day, and every like these pros just know when that guy has that day.
All right. Well, I mean, that's definitely going to be part of it. I'm asking you guys right now, though, who you starting day one? You got 5. You got your roster of 5.
All right.
Who do you
All
get?
right, you have
This
to,
is
okay,
fun.
so knowing the format, and I think again, this is very important for people to realize. It's not the same as it was. Now, have they clarified? Are these games to 21 or is this round limited? Have they said any of that?
There's
stuff?
like there's a back and forth going on about right now, so I'm going to let that happen before
you want to 21.
Yes.
what I want. Yes. Which is yes, like I said, there's a couple things still being laid out.
Your team historically has not done very well, like in round limited stuff. You want to 21.
That's also what I've heard.
Yes, correct. And again, to 21, completely different game. They always come back. You know what I mean? Like big. If I were
round.
you, man, it's hard because Ethan Walker is considered one of the top 10 players in the country easily, right?
Yeah.
But like, I just think that him and Colin play such a great game. I'd have a hard time not pairing them up. And I know in this format, it's 3 matches, right? You have a
Mhm.
singles match, a doubles, and then you have a is it tandem?
Tandem.
right?
Yeah.
A tandem, which I'll be honest with you, I'm still figuring out.
So basically, Dane and I would be throwing on the same side of the board as teammates.
Bags of
We
peas.
just alternate bags. It's just 2 bags.
Okay, that's what it is. Yeah,
Yeah.
alternate shot, golf, scramble. I got it.
Pretty
Yeah,
much. Yeah. So
exactly.
you only have to win 2 of those matches. I think what most teams are thinking is like, I'm not even really worried about tandem. I was worried about singles and doubles. If they're just throwing out like their C squad in tandem, you could fucking probably gobble up people in tandem with Ethan and Colin, who basically play a very similar game.
Yeah.
Same collects, airmail, roll game, and then you just throw Ryan Wiedenfeld in singles, cross your fingers, and then in doubles, I mean, you can just go with 2 you could just go with 2 steady eddies and Jimmy and Sims.
I'm on the other side of that.
Okay.
I would actually let it rip with Walker Morse
In doubles?
in doubles. And then you have Hodet or Wiedenfeld in singles. And then for tandem, you pair either one of those with, I think, Sims or Humans, whoever the hot hand is.
Yeah. That's
I
what I'm
just
saying.
like-
That's
I
why
just
I like
like
your
Sims and
roster because there's
Humans.
so many different ways you can go.
In tandem, Sims or Humans.
Your toughest
first
one is
bag
trying to
great.
figure out who's going to be like a singles guy.
Yeah.
Because you have a bunch of really good. I'm trying to remember who finished highest in singles for the squad last year. I mean, probably Ethan, but it could have been Colin.
I think Colin might have taken it. Wasn't he?
Do you remember off the top of your head?
No, I remember. No, that was remember. I'd have to be cycling about
From your
that
analytics?
9,000 other pieces of information.
Yeah.
We were just testing. We didn't know if you had like, that type of savantism that can just pull it up.
But we gave
No,
you.
unfortunately, there's no savantness about me. Otherwise, I'd probably be in a completely different type of podcast right now.
But I think when we graded these, like we gave you an A because like I like that you have so many options. You're not going to be predictable.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like every you guys can change from game to game.
Yeah, I mean, even I'm thinking back on your team, I do like the idea of having those two on tandem as
Just
well, just because they play that same style.
Nobody's
But
thinking about tandem. Tandem is an afterthought right now. So if you throw out two studs in tandem, like I mean, that's tough. And again, they might not like tandem. You know what I mean? But they're both young enough. Like you can't put two crotchety old guys in tandem. That's just not. They're not. It's not traditional cornhole. You know what I mean? Like these guys are still involved and young and they like to have fun and do crazy shit. So I don't
True.
know. I don't know.
I'm ready for that speed cornhole. I want it on a clock. Let's go.
Listen, it's better than it used to be.
like chess, you got to tap the clock after each.
As an alternative, like I don't need
I
it.
mean,
Doesn't need to
no
be the
offense,
main
but I mean,
thing.
like you would might. I mean, like I don't know. Speed is not your team's thing. I don't think.
No.
I mean, like-
We're just spitballing ideas here, man. We're not
the
changing
guy
the
named
structure of the game.
That's such a dad joke. I love
Yes, it is.
That was really good. I laughed way too hard at that.
Mhm.
I love how they already have the championship commercial like T-shirts for Seahawks just ready to
Of
roll.
course, ready to rip. And then meanwhile, the
Not having
shipment of all the other loser teams are heading off to.
Well, he might
countries.
see the people in LA wearing them
That's true.
somewhere.
True.
Just you know,
Yeah, I already have the Chicagoland Spinner Championship tees ready to go too, so it's not a big deal.
hell yeah. So
I like that.
what you guys kick off the team stuff like what this weekend?
No. It's in.
No, it's
Like-
March 21st, 20th.
Oh, there's still two more.
Yeah,
Oh,
they're only doing the last
Okay.
4 SIGs, I believe, right?
Okay.
Or 3 SIGs or something in Worlds.
Okay.
Yep.
So what can we expect from like are you planning on social media stuff? Like do you have like I don't know if you're aware in cornhole world that Facebook is still kind of king.
Yeah. I've been doing the research. Yeah, I'm kind of like, I mean, I'm definitely
Very
like,
boomerish.
I've been putting a little bit of stuff out there. I'm more like trying to get my team in place so that I can double down during the season.
Do you have
like-
control of the former page?
No, they changed it to a fan page and launched a new one for me. So
I wonder if I'm following the newest one.
I think whoever did the post today tagged the right one.
All right, good.
The Chicagoland Spinner stuff.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, I've got big plans. For me, it's all about resourcing time and money. And I have ideas that I have to go, that's not a year one idea for sure. And then there's stuff like, okay, cool. This is reality. Or at least for like the level of spend, because I'm in a world where there's a lot of money that goes into content and things like that. So like I kind of have a good gauge, but also have to be like, oh, this is all coming out of Kyle's pocketbook, so I have to think pretty intelligently about it. But in general, I mean, I'm gonna have a content mix. Like I'm gonna probably be pretty video heavy. Like I think that there's a good combination of. I mean, just the events themselves are an underutilized asset from a clipping perspective.
for sure.
Like so I'll be fanning that flame pretty hard. I'm probably gonna get pretty like front facing, during the course of the season for myself. Like I'm gonna be my own hype man and my team's own hype man. Both from a video perspective and otherwise. And then a big chunk of it is I'm just trying to promote these players, like in fun and unique ways. Like with that said, I don't have them all laid out yet. Like got a lot of, I mean, I spent 3 hours yesterday kind of like formulating some ideas how I want to go about it, like how I think the platforms will work best for me with some of these people and what they're creating. And then I think that there's also just some like in this world, there's like developing what's your repeatable concepts, like that you can hit over and over again and start to see some of that stuff. So I've got some of those kind of ideas that I want to play with. And that's both team stuff and cornhole adjacent, like I'm not taking anything off it, but like in the end, I'm hoping to have 100 ways I can do it. And then cut it down to the 10 I can actually afford or do, like, and everyone on the team's been great. I feel like they all want to participate in a great way, but
I was gonna say you have a great group of dudes on your squad. Like when you draft them, like are there any expectations on your end besides them playing well?
no, man. I mean, my first thing is like, look, here's the only guaranteed money I can have in this, like truly is like if we win. My first thing was like put the best product on the field that I can.
Makes sense.
And then there's like, of course, like merch, like from the Chicagoland Spinners, that's number 2. I wouldn't say that's guaranteed, but I'll probably be pretty good about converting that when I get the stuff I like in the store. There's some work that needs to be done there. And then of course, like if I can convert some brand deals, but the truth is you need attention, you need views, and you need things to be able to convert brand deals. So like that's probably number 3. I'm hoping I can lock in a jersey sponsor or something like that. But the truth is like I wasn't banking on, like because I don't have all these other things in place and working yet. Like with that said, I feel like the things that I do this year should allow that to be an easy thing in year 2.
Are you guys allowed? Are you guys? Is the ACL forcing you guys to wear their jerseys? Like, and you guys can just plop logos on them, or are you?
Well, there's our own custom team jerseys, but we have our own space for us to be able to sell patch inventory or jersey inventory on top of that stuff.
Like, if you wanted to come up with like a new design jersey,
I don't think I'm going to get the full creative design on the jerseys, but I will be putting a lot of input into the store and the content or the.
I will say your guys' logo is not the worst, and your color scheme is not the worst. You know what I mean? Chicagoland Spinners got a pretty hard. I will say, like, there's the black.
Well, let's just say they launched the store,
nice.
And they put in some like filler content, and this is what I was doing this week. I was like, oh, well, I wouldn't wear 90% of that, so that's gonna go no. So I haven't even promoted it yet. I will. I mean, I'll do drops once it happens, but like, my cousin has kind of been in the direct to consumer, like done a little merch stuff. So like, he's helping me out a little bit. But I have to go through, and now I'm like, all right, now I have to like get the stuff I would wear in that store or the people would wear in that store, which is to me more lifestyle than it is like,
yes.
Like I would wear a nice shirt and a hoodie and a great hat, like, and believe me, I don't even have my own hats yet, like, and I have a hat for everything. So
hats do so well.
They
do so well.
Yeah. So I, like that's kind of like my big bucket. And then I'll like worry about the social content to help amplify that stuff. Like I'm just in infrastructure mode, like there was nothing set in stone for me. I was like, oh, I got to find all these things and do all these things, which is the startup mindset, which is great, but also like, whew, I forgot, like forgot what 0 to 1 looks like. It's like, oh, we have to really like get into this stuff.
I'm excited though. And I think that the ACL, again, going back to like their improvements to social media, like our biggest gripe has always been that they hype up teams in the beginning. They have like this draft that they've always had, and they did a good job of covering it. And then nothing. The fucking season went on
afterwards.
No idea.
Info on who
maybe
wins.
maybe I would remember it might be on and catch it on like CBS Sports or like, it's just like so fucking random. Like, it just no promotion at all. So then they came out this year and they're like, hey, we're going to open this up and get the licensing. And my biggest thing in the beginning was like, fuck you guys. Because like every year we try to hype it up, but you guys given us nothing. Why the fuck should we, as like avid cornhole fans, give a fuck anymore?
Yeah.
Like every year you guys have like said like, oh, it's going to be better this year, and then nothing. So I am trying to be optimistic, seeing that the changes have been positive on the social media side, and then all this stuff's going on. I do worry now. Like, I don't know, just like with Trey leaving, it's just like weird, like a weird time. And
I don't know who's gonna be we haven't even talked about that yet.
I know
who's gonna be our go-between. That's true.
It's gonna be earlier on this episode, but yeah, it's just a weird time, man. But I'm excited. We needed this, like the game for the team stuff to work. It was never gonna work just by being like all ACL franchise and going out there, because we're all like, we all know what this is. Like, they're all playing for the same shit. Like, it's dumb. Like, it's just dumb. Like, it's just easy filler TV stuff. But now that they're bringing in outside revenue, you can see like the ACL's trying to make the steps to like grow, or maybe be prepared if they do grow. So I'm hopeful.
Well, and all the owners so far have seemingly, you guys are bought in. Like everyone.
Yeah. I mean, I have like quite literally and figuratively
bought
the
face. Yeah.
So I mean, like, I don't love throwing money away. So like, there's like we talked about earlier, like I want to make this work, but also like, if I am making money at it, I'm just putting it right back into it to start, so it's not like the better I do, just the more content I'm going to make. So like, that's kind of like what it comes down to for me at this phase of growth. I'm all about awareness and just getting the message out there at this juncture.
Oh yeah. I'm excited. I'm excited. Well, we'll have you hang on. We'll let the folks go at home, but they can't hear all the tea. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, we gotta.
For the
conversation
you in better. Yeah, you're correct.
We're 7 years. So,
but thank you very much for joining us, man. This has been awesome.
Yeah. Of course, like anytime, like quite literally, check me in, like whenever we need it. You need an owner's perspective. I'll drop that knowledge on you every time.
Oh yeah, brother.
All
right. So, hope you guys enjoyed the interview. We'll be back next week with more audio gold. But until then, we hope you throw it straight. That's nothing but 4 baggers from here on out.
Cornhole it
later.